Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight for 20 Sides to Every Story. Tonight we're playing one of our second old school game of the day. We had Gabe on here this morning. He was playing um, some basic expert rules, and they were playing a module in the Mystara campaign setting. And tonight we are going to be playing Castle Xyntillan, which we are using as a placeholder for the Cold Prince's castle in our Dolmenwood campaign. And we're kind of in a segue segment in our Dolmenwood campaign where we are inviting people to come on and play the hirelings with the group. And so we've got a few such people here with us tonight that are going to be bringing in some level 1 characters to kind of fill out the party. So that's awesome. And very uncharacteristically, the potato lion, Jenna, has just redeemed a wandering encounter. Start. We haven't even started yet, but I'm just gonna let that sit there in the queue, and I will invoke that at some point tonight when I think it's appropriate. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe Jenna's not at the keyboard there. It's just my hunch. I don't know. So anyway, we are going to get started here, but like I said, this is a game that we're inviting people to come hop in and join us with. And so, please do jump into our Discord server where you can get, we just kind of casually chat in there about the games that we're playing and the games that we're streaming, but we also have some sign-ups for games that you can jump into, and so that's a great place to kind of meet other people and see what we got going on. So I encourage you to join that. If you really like what we are doing, we have been trying to do, with the help of Lyra, some editing of some of these games so that they could be put into kind of a podcast format. And so if you are enjoying that, we've been putting a lot of that stuff up on our Patreon, so you can check that out and support that if you think you're enjoying the entertainment value of it. So I'm Alex. I'm going to be the GM for the session, and I'm joined here by Percy, who is playing Dream of Remembrance the Elf, Ryan playing Sir Geoffrey the Knight, Dawson playing Toppsy the Grimalkin, Kevin playing Tomumbolo, the Moss Dwarf, and Kev playing Windor the Goatfolk. And hopefully I pronounced those new character names okay. Our game is going to be starting on the 14th of Obthryme. It is the kind of the middle month of autumn. And let me just pull... I know players are not going to probably see this map, but I'm going to pull up our Fort Vulgar map just for the audience to kind of see. This is where has been kind of serving as the home base for the campaign while they've been traversing, kind of going back and forth from Fort Vulgar to the castle. This is kind of the rest stop in between adventures. And so this is probably where we're going to pick up with the characters meeting their new hirelings, and they are going to be, in just a little bit, I'm going to set them forth on kind of talking through their plans. In the previous session, the group had gone to Castle Xyntillan and kind of stumbled their way into the dungeon level of the castle, and they discovered that there is a big, huge wine cellar down below that is full of casks of at least one barrel they had uncorked and tasted, and it who was it who was it that tasted it?
Was it Scott's character?
Was it okay? That makes sense that it was him. So he took a sip of this. It was a delicious wine, but it ended up giving him sort of a vision of a... I may have mischaracterized this, actually. Did I allude to the fact that it looked like the gargoyle? Hopefully not. For some reason, when I was rereading the book earlier today, I was like, I hope I didn't do that. But it should have been... I should have described like almost a lion-headed figure in regal robes looking out into the lake, who had cast this golden key out into the lake. standing above the cliff top. So anyway, that was his experience with it, was that he got this vision of this very unique, almost monstrous character weeping openly as he cast this key into the lake, and then he came out of it 20 minutes later, so that they know that they are sitting on something that might be valuable to the right person. We don't know yet. They haven't really explored too much into that wine cellar, but there's a lot of barrels. There's got to be at least, you think there's probably 60 or so casks down there. And you know, you are aware that there is a village not so far to the east called Prigwort that is ruled by basically brewing families, and so it would make sense that you might be able to make a pretty penny if you could get these casks up and out of the cellar and then find the experts out in Prigwort that could evaluate what these things are worth. I think you've already heard rumors that there are some rare vintages that are sought after from the Malevol, the family that owned the castle once upon a time. But these are well sought after. So it makes sense that you would be motivated to try to figure out a way to get them out of there. But it's going to require some planning, some manual labor, and those are all the details that they're going to figure out here in just a second. So we're going to say that we are opening up on the morning of the 14th of Obthryme, and you all are corralling and getting situated at the local tavern, which is down near the dockside. Right now it's probably more full than it normally would be. A lot of the dock workers are out of work. A lot of the ship captains and their crews are loitering around because there's some kind of strange sea monster out at sea that is deterring them from trying to take the risks to cross Lake Longmere. Not that any of the characters here know anything about that, but that is an obstacle that the town is currently dealing with. So we're going to say that you're all kind of gathering together. Probably we're already past the point where Tomumbolo and Windor have been hired on. And, you'd be offered, the traditional share of the treasure of the wealth that would be divided up from the party and everything like that. But why don't we just go around real quick before we start and have all of you introduce who you're playing, so we just know who our characters are. And we'll start just from left to right. We'll cross my screen, and we'll start here first with Percy. Who are you bringing?
Hi, I'm Percy, and I'm bringing Dream of Remembrance. Probably a pretty forgettable character. He doesn't do a lot, but he's coming along because he's been promised a share of the treasure, and he thinks that he can make some money. Because, living in the human world is it's expensive.
Awesome. And then let's go over next to Ryan. Tell us about Sir Geoffrey.
Sir Geoffrey is a knight, and he's recently been kind of granted a parcel of land, and he's recently gotten married to a beautiful goatfolk maiden, and so he's really motivated to kind of get in this castle and make as much money as possible, because he needs to build up his keep and build a safe place to start a family and to rule his fiefdom. So that's kind of his main motivation right now.
Yeah, awesome. And there has been some amount of wealth that has been pulled, but it's been pretty minor so far. This is maybe the biggest potential is here in that cellar.
Oh yeah.
Let's go next to Dawson. Tell us about Toppsy the Grimalkin.
Hi everybody, I'm Daw, and I'm playing Toppsy Fluffykins, the Grimalkin. He's a little 3-foot tall, feline-looking fairy of sorts. She's a very seize the day type of person, and very much can be a troublemaker of sorts. Is very, if you were guess for a personality on the job, it's very supervisor-like. But more like a playful supervisor.
Awesome.
That's it.
And let's go next to Kevin to tell us about Tomumbolo the Moss Dwarf.
Tomumbolo was likely hired after just kind of making random drinks for the dock workers. He's got a little gift of turning any sweet liquid and fermenting it instantly. Whether or not they enjoy it or it's palatable, 1/3 odds roughly. So likely he was just entertaining himself and maybe a few lucky people who got a good drink before he was hired on. But he's searching to brew a universal elixir to bring his craft to its zenith, and will jump at the chance, especially knowing that we're going to possibly go get some wine barrels that could lead him to this path. He's not the nicest person to be around, with some flies darting around his head, and just he's overall kind of green, but not necessarily a good green. He has mossy biceps though, so when he flexes, it's just kind of weird.
Awesome. And let's go next to Kev. Tell us about Windor the Goatfolk.
Well, I'd say he's blessed with more faith than sense. He among goatfolk, he's kind of more of a traditional worshiper of the one true God than most. And so he became a member of the church, and he is kind of trying to redeem himself though, because he's, like I said, more faith than sense, and so he sort of has some beliefs that might be not quite right with the church, and so they kind of sent him away to. Basically, he's been forbidden from sort of saying anything about what the theology of the church, because he's got these beliefs that aren't quite right. Among which is believing that Fraggle is a saint, and so he's been sort of pushed away. But he's trying to redeem himself, and he's sort of glommed onto the friar as somebody who might be able to help him find his way. And so that's sort of how I imagine he joined the group. And so he's trying to. And so any money that he receives would have to go to the church anyway, because he's sort of a knight for the church, as it were.
Well, if you've been following the friar, giving the money to the church here in town maybe is okay, because he seems to have a way to enforce that it goes to the people. So that's awesome. And right away, we've got some rerolls coming in. Thank you, Casey, for player reroll, and Lyra just redeemed a player reroll. So I think all of you are fairly familiar with how that works, but basically those rerolls go into a pool, and anybody can redeem it at any time for a reroll of whatever you want. Try to give it a second stab. Limit of 1 reroll per roll, but yeah, they are there to be used, so use them liberally. So you guys are gathered together around a table again. Probably, we're going to say that you guys are gathering up at Chook's Knob, which is the old wooden warehouse building with a tarred roof. It is very much a kind of makeshift tavern that really serves the blue collar worker here in Fort Vulgar, and so there's nothing fancy about it, but the drinks are stiff, and the food has a homey quality to it. So there's some comforts here, but it isn't it's, a little bit of an eyesore probably if you were to really scrutinize it. But you are all gathered together, maybe making plans for the day in terms of how you're going to tackle this situation. You've already ordered your food. You've got tea, coffee, whatever you need for your meeting. Some familiar, dock workers and such are around the tavern with their tattooed arms that mark their work, and that's sort of the feel as we're coming into it. So I'm going to pass it off to you guys to kind of talk about what you need to take care of while you're still in town.
Toppsy will kind of adjust himself on their several boxes they're stacked up on top, so at least eye level everybody. She's gonna stand on top and say, "Well, let's start with the easy part of this. I mean, we gotta get the wine out of that cellar somehow, and I think the easiest part is bringing it back of sorts. So we're gonna need like a cart and some wagons, horses type of deal. That's the easy part. I mean, me and Brave Sir Knight here, we can cover the costs of that, so you don't have to worry about anything in that department. I mean, we're here to take care of you as much as you are here to take care of us. The hard part is, however, I don't know if you've seen my stature at all, but I'm not that great at lifting casks out of basements. So we're gonna need to figure out a method of getting out of there.
Bolo kind of flexes a little bit, and I've got the muscle. You just have to give me a way to not spill the wine everywhere. And
Well,
help me push and pull. Yeah, all those above.
I think you and I, between you and I, we've got the muscle. But how's our who's the other character we have with us is Goatfolk? Are you you're more of a church man? Are you or do you have the muscle?
I'm a fighting man. I'm a fighting man, but I'm not super strong.
Oh,
Gotcha,
come on,
yes, we might-
modest. Plenty strong.
So yeah, we between all of us, we might be able to get one cask at a time, which doesn't seem super efficient. Is there any way? I mean, I've been thinking about this. I don't have too many ideas, but we might, between all of us, we might be able to come up with some kind of idea of some kind of way we could get more than one cask out without breaking all of our backs.
Well, I heard the saying that efficiency is clever laziness. So, Dreamy, do you have any ideas how to do this?
Well,
I think they're distracted a little bit.
Once I saw, didn't I see them using some sort of like ropes and wheels to get stuff up and off of boats around here? I feel like, what is that called? I don't know.
Wenches.
Block and tackle. Maybe.
Might
I don't know.
be some kind of bad idea if we could rig some kind of apparatus to get the ass up the stairs. At least the stairs, to me, are the biggest issue. I think that's going to be where we're going to have the biggest difficulty. I think perhaps we could come up with some kind of wheeled apparatus to move, to put the cast onto and then wheel them to the stairs. And then maybe if we could figure out just a better way to get them up those stairs.
Well, so we should be able to roll the barrels, right? Most of the time when they're on the flat.
Are they casks or are they barrels?
They are casks.
So that would
Well,
be
either
more
way,
difficult, right? A cask would be what?
But if we could put like a board on the stairs and then roll it up that, we could push them up,
Maybe.
right? Because that would create like
Instead
a
of going every
ramp.
single step like
Yeah,
instead of
just a board.
Yeah, maybe. That might be the play. Perhaps we could either build some sort of dolly to get multiple casts on and then up the stairs. If we can build a ramp up the stairs, is what I'm hearing you say. Some sort of ramp.
Just
Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking it didn't need to be any wider than a single, like maybe just two boards, and just roll them up because it doesn't need to be. We don't need to cover the entire stairs. We need to use the stairs for our feet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Another idea that came to mind from my last endeavor in the place is, well, you might not like it after I go to the more clarifying details, but behind the little chapel area to the left of the main doors we go into, there's like a little secret back room back there that's a hole in the ground that leads to the basement level. So maybe if we're doing the winching idea, that could work. But also, in terms for the clarifying details, there's like ghost choirs.
Is that all?
Probably
surely
not.
the one true God will bless our endeavor.
Oh, you should be surprised. There was another fella, like just like you, not too long ago. He found God. It was crazy.
I look forward to it.
So it sounds like our options are to either we're thinking building some sort of dolly cart to bring into the place to wheel the cast, and then either we're gonna do like planks up the stairs, or we're gonna do ropes pulley system up the ghost choir filled
Mm-hmm.
hole.
Yep.
I say we vote.
Can
I'm
we not
voting for
bring both?
I suppose we could do both.
Or at least bring the supplies for both, and then if one doesn't work out, if the choir doesn't sound good, or if the planks don't hold for some reason, we can try the other.
Which is closer to the door out, the ghostly hole or the stairs?
The stairs would absolutely be the most direct way.
I think we plan on the stairs, and I like the idea of having a backup plan, maybe bringing some ropes and the such, just in case we need to go with plan B.
Okay. So just in listening to some of the things that you were talking about and giving you how much would this cost, a block and tackle, like if you're going to try to have like a kind of a pulley system, that'll cost 5 gold, and then you would need to have you'd have to have rope to be able to pull it up. So probably let's just say like 100 feet of rope to effectively like rig it all up and make it work to pull it up that stretch of stair. So I don't know how much rope costs, but
I have 50
50
feet.
on me.
Yeah, I have 50 feet of rope too.
Well, we don't want you guys to use your own equipment. We want to make sure that you guys are well taken care of. And also, in case you run out of rope, we may need some extra.
50 feet of rope costs 1 gold, so this is
Yeah.
not breaking the bank figures here. This is pretty
we're-
low stakes for how much money Geoffrey and Toppsy have.
So I would say
for
200 feet of rope.
200 feet of rope.
Yeah, we'll go 4 gold pieces in on the rope, and we'll get the block and tackle. That's 5, right?
And if you want, it sounds like maybe some like wood to kind of create like a little bit of like a kind of a ramp. Like I'm imagining what two boards parallel all the way up to just like create the rope or the ramp, and then
2 or 4, maybe just in case, because I don't want us to have too much issue with it falling off of the ramp. And then I'm guessing with the length of the stairs, we'll probably have to like put it up the board and then like get the boards behind and move it in front type of deal until we get up. How long is that stairway?
Stairs, yeah.
That's a good question. Let me see.
And is it a straight stairway?
Yeah,
It is.
Next one. I
Fortunately,
thought
it
it looked
is.
like it was. Yeah, I thought it looked like it was.
So you're looking at I mean, it's a good 15 or yeah, like 30 feet.
So yeah, we'd probably need 4 board, 4 yeah, board
Planks.
planks.
Let's
2
call
by
it
4s.
let's call it 4 gold for the wood.
Okay.
And then,
And then
I'm reasonably sure Windor does not know algebra, so I'm not going to try to do any math on his behalf.
you were talking about like a cart.
Like a dolly type of thing to wheel it inside. I know we probably couldn't get a whole cart in, because that's what we're going to want to wheel everything out in. But some sort of mini car or dolly type thing.
You could probably reasonably find like a wheelbarrow or something in town that someone would be willing to sell you. Let's call it 5 gold for like a little wheelbarrow. Like a. No, you got to remember, like these casks are like 500 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have a
probably
wheelbarrow
it's
person.
it's probably reasonable
Roll
just to
on
roll
top.
it. Yeah, because of just how heavy they are.
Wood roll. I was picturing something like pear shaped almost.
Like a U-boat.
They're like rollable. The shape of them.
I think the
U-boat.
shape of them would absolutely be rollable. So the
Okay, and then we
stairs
can
are
probably
your
just
biggest
flank-
problem, and then just having people that can be on either side of the because it's so
flank.
heavy.
And
Just
not being
having
behind it when we lose grip of it.
yeah,
Mhm.
or just like steering it through the area, like having a person at least on each side of it to like make sure it's going straight and getting where you want it to go and everything like that.
Okay.
So then your other issue is the long distance transportation. So how many wagons and carts, and then the requisite livestock that you need for those.
Yeah. If they're 500 pounds each, like what are our options as far as what's the largest kind of wagon we could get the most on, and how many, how much livestock would we need for that? Like,
So the cart costs 100 gold pieces, and I think I typed into the chat that it could carry 16 casks.
I like that.
That requires 2 draft horses or 4 mules. The wagon costs 200 gold pieces, and I believe I said that could carry 50. It requires 4 draft horses or 8 mules.
How much is each mule or draft horse?
A draft horse is 40 gold pieces, and a mule is 30 gold pieces.
So it's cheaper to go with the draft horses either way, as far as to go draft horses to carry, because it seems like it's half the amount of draft horses, and they're only 10 gold piece more.
Yeah, so if you go with the wagon and the draft horses, it would run you 360.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
like we're about to shoot a Christmas Budweiser commercial.
Yeah. Clydesdales all the way. Let's do it. What do you think, Topsy? We go big or we go home, right?
Well, do we really want to put all our barrels into one wagon type of deal?
Yeah.
I mean, if something bad happens on the road and all like 50 on that wagon go kaput, ooh, we're in for big trouble.
So you're thinking see, it would be the same price to double up on the smaller, what was it, the cart? And we'd get, 32 on there.
Well, possibly, but here's my logic behind it. How long is it going to take us to get each barrel out from the basement? Well, correction, you all. I get that thing. That's too heavy. That's like 20 me's. It's
You
going
just
to
run
take
on
us some
top of
time.
them.
Just like go on top and just roll.
Yeah, just roll with your feline agility.
I like that. We'll hold that thought. Great idea. But it's going to take us a lot of time, and I assume we're not going to want to keep doing this day and night. I don't know how many we can get on at what time. You're like, by at some point, it'd be like just arms just dead.
I would guess that we could get at least 2 an hour.
2 an hour?
At least, right? Maybe
Well,
more.
By your logic, then, the cart would be the best option because that's exactly 16. It's exactly what the cart holds. So you
you're
did the
thinking-
math.
Yeah, but you're thinking we do it, but by that logic, we would fill the cart and come back each day.
Sort of. I guess depends on how many days you want to be here. If you want to
Well,
camp out a day.
Well, my thought was that if we fill the wagon, we camp out a couple days. That's a big payload. That's we get that back into back here. We get that to Pregwort. We make a nice, pretty penny, and we're done. The dishes are done.
I'd like to point out that there's only 6 of us. You're hiring horses and carts and stuff. Why not hire some more men?
I'm not opposed to that.
Oh, I mean, the sailors are out, but the sailors certainly want to come here, from what I understand.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, you guys,
So
You're not the one that want to come.
let me
If
step
we're
in.
spending the money on the wagon, I wouldn't mind that.
Let me just step in and say you've already for the month exhausted the people that are have willing to go out there. So
We've killed people.
yeah, once we get to the next month, we'll roll to see how many more people you'd be able to get. But unfortunately, Tomumbolo and Windor are the best that you can get.
You guys are the
Well, Miss, yeah.
you're the red shirts for this
Mhm.
this expedition.
I'm wearing entirely green. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't completely green. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's also one problem too. Are you sure that you have cellars? If you bring up all of the barrels and then no one wants to buy them, you spent a lot of time and effort on something no one wants.
Oh, trust me, when you get this way, you're gonna want more.
Well, now
At
I
least-
can't wait.
At least that's what the other guy said. Like, he was just so in the zone with that one cup of wine, he was out for 20 minutes.
I'm pretty sure that with the vintage of this stuff and the amount of it and the fact that Pregwar is known for its brews, I think we're gonna make a killing on this.
And it's about a day's travel to Pregwar.
Or more, right?
It's maybe 2 days travel if I'm remembering correctly, but
I mean, we don't have to go directly to the Prigport. We can probably get a warehouse here somewhere.
That's true.
Store it, just in case.
yep,
So
there's a lot of
individually
empty
instead
store rooms right now, so you could probably even get a discount on storing it.
I guess there are benefits to past
But
mistakes.
that's a logistical problem that we'll have to worry about once we get these barrels out of the place. Right now, yeah, get the darn things.
So yeah, I'd say it's up to the group. I'm kind of, you know me, Topsy. I go big or go home. So I'm kind of thinking
Yep.
to do that,
Sure do.
but it's up to you guys. I think if you guys think it's more reasonable to go in a day out and bring it out with the cart or the wagon, whichever it was, the smaller one, that's cool too.
It's definitely going to take us some time to figure out if our plans even work. And then also for storing the animals, this place is safe, right? No, dangerous, right? Like, would you leave animals unattended on the grounds?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
I mean, the good news is that the cast and the front door where we're going to park are not far. So I'm picturing sort of like a line of folks. You know, there'll be some folks at the cart watching the horses, helping get cast up on the cart. Then there'll be folks down at the bottom rolling the next cast to the stairs. There'll be the big, stronger folk, getting the cast up the stairs, like in a assembly line fashion. So I think I feel like we should be able to keep an eye on the animals while we're doing, like, Topsy, right? You could probably handle that. And, I don't know. What do you think? Or are we concerned about it?
Well, we kind of need the animals to get the barrels back here, so we got to keep them alive. Is that what you mean by concerned about the animals?
Well, I'm just saying, are we saying if we're down, if we have a person watching the animals, do we feel like we're not going to have enough people doing the rest of the work, or they won't be close enough to help if there's a encounter or something?
He's
feel
not
like-
going to be able to lift a barrel by himself. Like,
I don't think
I'll
any of
point at
us will be
Topsy.
able to lift one ourselves.
I'm just thinking Topsy's probably not going to be very useful with getting the barrels.
You got that right, Dreamy.
So can he watch the animals?
Yeah, sure
Yeah,
I
I
can.
mean,
I can watch animals. I can watch you. Oh, just to remind you guys, it's pretty dark in there, so someone's got to hold the light. I mean, I can be the light bearer. You can do all sorts of things.
We can't like hang some torches or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh.
you could definitely, figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have a hireling, right?
Kezi would be
Yeah,
coming
Kezi.
with you.
Yeah, she's right there.
Hi. Your plans sound great. Let me know if you want to go out into the woods and hunt something. Then I might speak up. But this is my first time ferrying old barrels out of a basement, so I'm gonna defer to your expertise.
Yeah, like what if we had like Kenzie and Windor at the bottom rolling the cask up to the stairs, me and Tomumbolo bringing them up the stairs, and then Toppsy and Dream guarding the cart and helping load stuff onto the cart when me and Tomumbolo get it up.
Okay.
Excellent idea.
Perfect.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think
Yeah.
that our path will work.
And now the question is, we do the 16, we do the cheaper, we go with the cheaper, the less horses, and we give it a shot for a day or two and just see how it goes. And then if it seems like it's going well, maybe we up our investment and go for the gusto.
That makes sense to me.
That makes sense, because if we bring it back here and it doesn't sell at all, then we haven't wasted a bunch of time.
If the
Right.
lake opens up, I might be able to transport it by sea too.
That's true.
I mean, just having a ship just right alongside the castle and just putting him right on the boat and sending him out, that would be amazing. But also, the lake's a little sketchy too. We won't get into that part of it just yet, unless you ask about it, of course. But that would be much better. But, none of these sailors want to go out and, sail.
Well, if any of them are desperate enough, we might be able to take that chance.
So it was the cart that was 100 gold pieces and 16 casks, or that was the wagon? The wagon was the bigger one.
Wagon's a bigger one.
Okay, so it's a cart.
So
So that's 100.
cart's 100.
And then and is that 2 horses for that one?
2 horses, so then additional 80.
Additional
my-
80. So
If my
180.
algebra is correct, I believe it is 193 gold pieces on our part to get this operation up and running.
That's what it looks like.
And can I buy a mule? As
Yes,
well?
30 gold pieces.
And would I need to buy something to attach these casks to the mule?
Like,
Some kind of way to support it on a mule?
it would it'd probably be impractical to try to get the cask directly on the mule.
Okay.
Just 500 pounds, it's gonna be without
Very
a
upset.
wagon or something to carry it behind. You just be dragging a keg behind it.
I am going to get a mule, though.
Okay, that's 30 gold. Somebody should put down on their sheet the cart and the horses, just so it's tracked somewhere that someone has, like, quote unquote ownership of it.
Do you want to do that, Ryan, or shall I?
I'll do it. I'll put it on my inventory. If I can figure out how to do that.
Do we want to use your gold or my gold?
Either way, doesn't make a difference. You want to split it?
I'll just start off with my gold because I can't carry as much.
Okay.
Also, my gold is the party fund anyways, so... Yep, I'll mark it off of my sheet, 193 gold pieces.
And then for the block and tackle, the 200 feet of rope in the wood, that would be 13 gold total.
Yep, that's already incorporated in the cost.
And then you can write those, make sure those get on a sheet so we don't forget about it.
How the hell do I add stuff here? I'm trying. Plus. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see.
And then the last little bit of housekeeping would just be like lodgings and food for the crew for today, because probably today was a planning day and getting all your supplies, and you're not going to probably set out today. You'll probably go tomorrow. So then deduct 24 silver pieces for everybody's like daily cost.
Yep, I'll do that.
2 draft horses. Then we got
This-
what, block and tackle, and then 200 feet of rope too.
Yep, and the wood.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, fellas. This night's on me.
Awesome. Is there anything else that needs to be dealt with or taken care of in town?
I will say, because we want to probably have a light source going in all the time, that we do
Yeah.
get some torches for setting up.
Could get lanterns too.
Might be
True.
easier to hang lanterns
Yeah.
above so we have view all around the casks.
Yeah, might be a good idea. Some oil.
I have a couple of oil, but I don't know how long that'll last.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
going to
oil's-
interrupt here for just a second to say thanks, Jay, for the sub. 15 months in a row. Appreciate it.
A lantern is 4 hours of light. They get torches 1 hour. Torches are much cheaper.
Torches are cheaper. 1 gold for 6. Lantern is 10 gold pieces and requires the oil flask, which is 2 gold pieces.
In the long run, I think the lantern is definitely cheaper.
And it's a castle. Like there's sconces for torches and stuff like that. Like it's not unreasonable to just use the torches to light the way.
Bring a stack of torches and
Yeah.
light them.
Yeah.
Hang them on the wall. Yeah, I like that idea.
Do we want to say like 10 golds worth of torches? Just so for like the remainder of whatever group goes out, they'll be set type of deal. I think that
I
would
like
be good.
I like it.
So I will deduct 10 gold pieces from my total, and we'll add 60 torches to the cart.
Awesome.
Okay.
Just so for future groups who go in as well can have light.
60 torches.
It's definitely a worthwhile investment going into this place. Awesome. Other shopping needs, other things that people are doing in town?
Everybody's geared up with weapons, armor, all that jazz. We should be good.
Cool. Well, we will advance then to the 15th of Obthryme. And I'm going to pull the audience right here onto our hex map. So, and I don't know why the marker's over there. There we go. So they are here at Fort Vulgar. It basically takes them a day to get to Warblight Keep. And it's a pretty mild autumn day as you're waking up and getting your cart loaded and everything like that. Sporadic cloud cover, but nothing that gives you the sense that there's any storm or anything on the horizon. So a little bit brisk. You just kind of get your overcoats and such ready, and you start to begin navigating around the northern side of Lake Longmere. And you definitely have to go at a slower pace because of the wagon, and trying to pull it through the forest is a little bit tricky, but you are going to be able to find a place where the waters are shallow enough that you can, maybe using some of the boards and such that you have, kind of rig a way to, it's going to take you a little bit, but able to get that across the river, or the stream that feeds into Lake Longmere, and then eventually get to the rise that leads you up to the castle itself, that stands over this cliff that overlooks Lake Longmere. And so you'll take the switchback road once you arrive. It'll be probably evening hours by the time you get here. So then that's a question of, do you want to camp out in the woods? Do you want to do you want to make your way up to the castle and take the road up there with the wagon and stay closer to the castle? Tell me a little bit about how you're going to tackle this first night. We'll say with everything that you had to do to get the wagon up here, it's probably like 6 p.m. by the time you get up here. So it's going to be like already dark.
What do you?
The last time I went in here, we got attacked by monsters. So it was on the other side, mind you.
And what manner of monsters were these?
They were people that had died and decided that they didn't want to stay dead.
Unholy creatures, then.
Uh-huh. So I don't think we want to go in there tonight. I don't know if Sir Geoffrey and Toppsy have other opinions.
Oh, trust me, the more I'm away from that place, the better. If you ask me, I think camping in the woods is just fine by comparison.
No
Yeah,
need to risk it.
Fine with hugging the edge of the forest maybe and making camp before heading in the morning. Making a good day's work in the morning.
Sounds
We
good.
could set up a rotation for guards, 2 at a time.
Sounds great. And if you want to volunteer to start,
Sure, Geoffrey, you want to start with me? You look big and strong.
Sure.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if you have a random encounter or not.
Would it be helpful for me to forage for any fungi or edible plants right now, or is that not really going to benefit us in any way?
I could. Yes, let's do that. Give me a foraging roll.
All right. No.
No, okay.
That's a.
And that's basically like along the way as you were traveling today, you would be doing that or attempting to do that.
While he's doing that, I'm just giving thanks for our safe arrival.
Doing some prayers to the one true God for having made it this far and getting the wagon through. That's awesome.
With some
thanks to
cursing in the
Saint
background.
Did Potato's wandering encounter appear? No, did not. We haven't adventured. I guess I could use it right here, right? And in fact, maybe that's what I should do. Yes, let's have an encounter. I just have to find... I'm looking at like they just released the new Dolmenwood campaign guide, which is 99.9% done, they say. So that's pretty cool. All right.
Well, that's just a picture of Toppsy.
Yeah, let's see. Who would like to do the honors? Would one of you roll me a d20, please?
not it.
4.
I'll do it. Oh.
4. Okay. Now, whoever the other person was that called out they wanted to roll a die, roll me a d8.
D8. Okay. A 1.
1. Okay.
We're rolling great tonight.
That's probably what you
outside the
wanted.
castle.
That's
It's
probably
okay.
what you wanted.
Don't even know what this means. By the way, fellas, I think this spot right here, prime camping spot. Nothing bad's ever gonna happen at this particular spot at this juncture. Nothing.
So,
You're not worried about the trail that goes through here?
What trail? There's no trail other than us.
I see a trail.
I don't know.
That's why we're leaving you to first watch. You've got the good eyes.
All right.
So you are all gathered around your fire tonight. You find a nice little kind of flat patch in the woods. It seems like a pretty hospitable place to lay down your bedrolls and park the cart and everything like that. You're out fetching water. getting the meal together, and you're kind of getting ready. You're maybe going over the plan again for tomorrow and what to expect and what to prepare for. When suddenly you hear kind of this rustling from the woods behind you. You're not surprised, but emerging from the foliage is this huge insect-like creature with, it seems like dozens upon dozens of legs. It's just crawling out, and this centipede-like creature is like the length of a boat. It's a good like 20 feet, 30 feet long, and it's scurrying out from the underbrush and is right up on you. It is going to close in and be it's like 60 feet from you as the encounter starts. So Sir Geoffrey, would you do the honors of being the caller? And before we roll this, does anybody want to declare that they would like to cast any spells?
Trying to read this right now. Would a glamour be considered a spell?
Yeah, we'll put it in that category.
Then not yet, because I don't know how this wording works. This is really confusing me. So not yet.
Okay. Sounds good. So I will roll. I rolled a 5.
A 2.
2. Okay, so the giant centipede will go first.
It's come from my foliage. My
The good news
foliage,
is-
no.
Hopefully, all my bad rolls are out now.
So that's what made the trail.
All right, so the centipede is going to scurry forward and is going to go for Sir Geoffrey. He gets 1 bite attack and rolls a 16.
Miss.
Misses. Your armor protects you from the bite as it leaps out. Awesome. So then it is the party's turn. So we will start with any movement that the group would like to make.
So the creature's already closed with us. So we're
Yeah,
all
it like
in
zoomed
range.
right forward and is like right up on Geoffrey.
Move
Well,
into
I mean,
melee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move into range to attack.
Bull will kind of move up into melee next to Joffrey.
I will move away from it and pull out a bow.
So Dream is
Yeah.
back in ranged. Joffrey's already in melee. Tomumbolo's in melee. Windor, you're in melee. What about
Yep.
Toppsy?
I'll be melee.
Melee. Okay. So all in melee except for Dream and Kezi. I'm going to actually remember that Kezi is with you and have her right away. She will start doing ranged. She's going to take a shot with her longbow. She gets a +1. She unfortunately misses. Dream, go ahead and do your ranged attack.
15.
15 hits.
That's a D8 for bow. Is that right?
D8 for D6 for bow.
No, D6. 3.
3 points of damage, and that's enough to kill the giant centipede. It has 2 hit points. So,
Ooh.
Nice.
sorry, Jenna. This could suck if you had rolled an 8, and you would have 8 giant centipedes attacking you. Fortunately, you rolled a 1,
one.
so there was
Oh.
only 1. So, that is that. That's the excitement that happened during the evening, and that's just how quick combat can be.
The
in old
one
school
true
Cities.
God be praised.
That Dream just knocked it out.
Wow. No wonder you survived the first time in.
It's my first time using a bow.
You get a nod of respect from Kezi for knocking it out of the park and slaying it. So the rest of the evening, no further interruptions. In the morning, you're able to clean up the campsite and get the cart moving and make the way up the switch back to the castle. And so you will ride past the bridge that leads into the ruined courtyard. I don't think that is your destination. You'll take the wagon to the road that runs along the southern walls of the castle, and you'll be looking up at like the southern wing of the castle. You know, it rises up. It's easily 3 stories tall on the southern side of the castle as you're making your way up to the front doors, where you can see these ruined. I think these were like chimera statues here that flank the doors. You can park the car and kind of get ready with setting your plan in motion. As you're maybe peeking in the front doors, probably they would have been shut, but you open them up and like look inside. Doesn't seem like there's any changes dramatically from the last time that you were here. There's no spooky ghost butlers or anything hanging out waiting to greet you. That's all been taken care of. And so yeah, you could start to kind of get the block and tackle set up at the top of the stair, lay down the boards. Just for my reference, you were going to have at least 1 or 2 people staying with the cart at all times. Is that correct?
I was thinking Topsy and Dream would be kind of up at the cart,
Okay.
kind of guarding and helping get stuff up on the cart, and then maybe me and Tomumbolo dealing with the stairs.
Okay.
And then the rest of the team down at the bottom, kind of rolling stuff up to the stairs.
So Windor and Kessie.
Yes.
Geoffrey.
The only thing that
and
I would
Windor at
change
the
is maybe
stairs. Go ahead.
I'm probably a little stronger than Kessie, so maybe I go downstairs and help down there.
All
Works for me.
Topsy and Kizzy at the cart, Geoffrey and Windor at the stairs, and Dream and... Oh, wait, sorry. Was it Geoffrey and Tomumbolo at the stairs?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I think we're kind of the beefy guys.
Yeah.
And then the cellar is
I
Windor
take
and Dream.
exception to that. I'm also pretty beefy.
All
Are
right.
you?
I am.
That's right. You are the beef.
Lead the way, Dream. Let's
But I
get to
can
work.
help Windor with the tipping the barrels.
All right. So, Topsy and Kezi are hanging out outside. You pass through the vestibule here and move into this was kind of like a parlor that had a writing desk. There was a big old grandfather clock in here, and the fireplace with the secret ham enclosure at the top of it. So if anyone's hungry, there you go. But
Wait,
right.
the secret ham enclosure.
Yeah,
I'll also lead.
there's some dead body. There was a dead body stuffed up in the fireplace. It was all charred and burned, and behind that there was a secret little place to smoke your hams. So,
Gotcha.
but it was delicious. It was tasty, very very tasty.
Oh, it was great ham. And I'll lean into the door and say, "Don't touch the clock." And then she'll smile and go back outside.
Wait,
Alex. Oh, hang on, Alex.
Now I'm looking for a clock.
everyone's thinking about touching the clock now.
Where's the clock?
Go ahead, Percy.
You're on it. I was just going to say that your map was a little out of
Okay.
whack on the.
So I'm going to move us down into the dungeon here. So people at the stairs down here.
Right in the
Mander,
cast
Windor, and Dream are coming down into this first chamber. And so basically what you see in here would be all of the like tools and things like that would be actually for like the building and the construction of the barrels. And so there'd be some like old unusable at this point like saws and probably some empty casks in here, and everything that you need to like drill a hole in the top and plug that and all that kind of machinery and stuff. And then you've got these two doors here that lead out into this main corridor, and this is where the mother lode is. This is where all the barrels and such are. So let's talk about lighting. So each torch would be able to give you what I think it's like 30 feet of light essentially. So
Right.
if you're securing one in here in the wall to light up the cellar area, maybe one in the workshop here to light that up, probably one at the top of the stair or somewhere along the stairs to light that up.
Maybe one in the
room upstairs where the clock is, right?
and then
Yeah,
we keep
probably the
front doors
vest,
open.
the main, that first room, you probably really don't need one. You could just leave the doors open, and the daylight would be able to give you light. So I think we're looking at like four torches at a time.
4 an hour, yeah.
Because it's about one day.
All right.
We've got 60 torches, so.
So, talk to me about the methodology of choosing barrels. Is it just kind of pull and take everything that you can? Is it efficiency and speed kind of the goal?
Just for Dream first, since he's been here before. So have you guys looked down the hall further? Do we know how the corridor ends?
Oh, I've never been to this part of like I said, we were on the other side of the castle.
Okay.
We came in through the ruins. It didn't end well.
I see. So who has been in this section?
So just as the one person that's like there at all of them, they have not explored any further than this this wine cellar.
Okay. So we don't. I'm just saying have they explored the full extent of this room? Okay.
Correct.
All right. So it's an enclosed room. There's no doors in or out, as far as we know. Okay. All right.
I think
what do you think?
I think they have gone around the corner here and determined there are some like there's two like essentially arrow slits in the wall there, but they've never had anybody like into the cellar area.
So shooting into the cellar.
Yep. So that's probably cause for concern. And then there is
the corner then.
There is the corridor that exits out of the cellar to the north there, but they haven't actually left the cellar.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Might be worth our while to plug those holes.
I was just gonna say that. Why don't we plug those holes?
Yeah.
Why don't we take some bits of the board or something that we have or cloth or something and plug those holes up? And then as far as the methodology of picking casts, is there any markings on the casts? Is there any way to identify the vintages? Is there any way to identify like the look of the cast that the person tasted? Or is it just kind of, we don't know very much about these casts at all, period, and probably won't?
They are all uniform in look with no markings that remain, if there ever had been. They all look pretty aged and old, but based on the taste of the one that has been uncorked and tried, it it had not turned to vinegar. It was well preserved. So the storage here seems to be doing its job.
Then I
First
think,
come, first served is probably the
yeah, based on that, I
easiest way
think
to
we
do it.
just go for as many as we can, as quickly as we can, because there's no really other methodology I think we could use. Maybe try to move do we move the ones that are furthest away from us and slowly come up to the ones that are closer, or do we start with the ones that are closer and then move towards the casts that are further away? I think that's the only thing we should really decide at this point. Start at the end of the
It
hall,
depends how
down
much room
here.
there is to get around them.
or start here, yeah.
Like if you have to go around things to get out from the back, you might as well start from the front.
Yeah, and if anything notices us and decides to come this way, we won't be in the immediate line of sight. We'll be around the corner and have a better chance of hearing something at least.
So start with the ones that are closest to us and then move down. So that's going to be the methodology.
Okay. My other question is, tell me about plugging the holes. Who is doing that and with what?
Let me see what I have.
Do we have anything that would make noise if it came out?
There's all the rusted machinery and stuff that would, if something walked on, would probably be pretty loud.
I have another idea.
Check my inventory.
Would the holes be at a easy height that a keg or cask could just block them?
If you had two stacked on top of each other.
Okay. Because my thinking is, if it's just a board, they can punch it out. But if a 500-pound keg of wine was there, it'd be a little more difficult.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Even if it doesn't cover the whole thing, gives us cover to get out of the way.
So maybe before we start bringing cats up, we walk around the corner, take the four closest cats to those holes, and stack them up in front of the. And
The other option is just to do it. We just need cover, really. It doesn't need to be right next. If we're going to do it that way, we don't actually need to plug the holes. We can do it closer to us, wherever we are, to provide cover.
Wall of cats.
Rather than, yeah.
So in total, we'd be looking at moving 4 casks and then getting them stacked on top of each other to block the visibility. Who all is down there assisting with this?
I think we should all maybe be down there getting the setup going, and then just until we kind of get the line go. Well, it's with the exception of Kezi and Toppsy should stay up. But all for the rest, the 4 of the others should be down there, kind of getting the setup going and kind of being like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this now. Now we'll do that, and then kind of get the line moving.
Okay.
Once we've been set up.
Sounds good. So you got the entire group down there, and I just have to make a roll to see if anything happens while you're doing this.
Come on, one true God.
Can you safely together manage to move those barrels in place? Nicely done. I think this is probably an effective strategy that you don't have to worry about that. The plug idea probably wouldn't have done it, but this will definitely do it. So nicely done. So we're going to call that a turn. So that will be all of your effort for 10 minutes was doing that. And then we're going to mark a second turn for getting your rigging together, just kind of getting situated to get things started. So 20 minutes has passed. And then I'm going to assume at this point, everyone's kind of going back to their stations. You got Dream and Windor are going to start rolling barrels. We've got Geoffrey and Tomumbolo are manning the stairs, helping out with that winch and everything like that. And Toppsy and Kezi are just outside kind of watching. So I'm going to say every 10 minutes, you're able to get a keg up and out with this system. Every 10 minutes, every turn, you can get 1 keg onto the cart.
Nice.
So
Even better than we thought.
yeah, so you get six casks out an hour, which
Bad, barring any
correct.
Or any
Um,
shenanigans that may occur.
shenanigans.
So fortunately, I pre-rolled turns, so we can kind of like fast forward through time a little bit here. We're gonna say that you get to the castle. We'll say that you got to the castle and it was like 9 a.m. So fairly early in the morning. The next 30 minutes passes by, and you get 3 casks onto the cart. At this point,
Nice.
you need to take a 10-minute breather and a rest. Particularly Tomumbolo and Windor probably for sure just need a little break. And so you take a rest. No encounters, no nothing. It is very quiet throughout the cellars, and there's usually those of you that have been here before, there's always just like the hairs on the ends on your arms are just always kind of arisen a little bit. There's just always like a little bit of a chill at the back of your neck, and you're not really feeling that so much right now. And so it's been pleasant so far. Torches go out, and then you'll need to relight 4 more for your next hour.
Let me mark those down. So we're down 8.
Another 30 minutes passes. No problems. You get another 3 casks onto the cart. And then Windor and Tomumbolo, could you both roll me a listen check?
D6, right?
Isn't it Windor and Dream that are
Or
downstairs?
sorry, yeah, Windor and Dream.
D6. I rolled a 5, so I didn't hear anything.
3.
Okay. You don't hear anything on this turn. You get another cask up into the barrel, into the cart. Roll it again.
3
1.
for me.
1. Dream from so you're still on this wall, but you can hear that in the cellar you hear a hiccup from around the corner. And kind of a slurping sound.
Oh,
Sounds like someone's enjoying the brew.
Somebody's drinking our alcohol.
someone's drinking the profits.
What do you think, Windor? Can we handle this?
Saint Regal's watching over us. I'll go check.
Okay,
Hey,
I'll pull out my bow if you get in trouble. Run.
But maybe just let Sir Geoffrey and Trumbull know what we're doing. That we hear
Oh,
something.
we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay.
He'll be
Off we
all right.
go then. So behind my shield, I have my lance, and we're approaching the sound.
All right, so you're moving up to kind of take a peek around the corner. Dream, you're still hanging out in the cellar, just watching him go
Yeah.
around the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Bow at ready.
okay, bow drawn, just ready for trouble.
Uh-huh.
So Windor, you've got light, like there's the light from the torch would like kind of
Mhm.
radiate around the corner. So you take a peek around the corner, and you can see a man, a rather rotund looking fellow. He's in brown robes, and he's got like this wooden cup. It looks like he's gone to one of the casks and managed to fasten a spigot onto it, and he's pouring the wine into a goblet. He's definitely got a chain hanging around his neck that has the oraculary. It's the holy symbol of the one true God around his neck, but he's pouring a big helping of wine and sipping it down feverishly, and you get the sense that he's probably had a cup or two before you noticed him, because he's swaying a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, so as I come around the corner, I'm just like, "Ho there, brother!
Ah!
One true God be with you."
Yes, praise be the one true God. Oh, you nearly gave me a heart attack.
And is the vintage good, brother?
It's doing its job. I'm forgetting all about my troubles. And I have
What are your
many.
troubles, brother?
I've lost my idiot brother down here. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you? He goes by many names. Geoffrey the Lesser, Geoffrey the Simple, Geoffrey the Idiot, lost brother that I can't find.
Brother, I do know someone by that name. Are you perchance Prior Fitzpatrick?
No, my name is Father Ambrosius.
Ah. Well, blessings be upon you, brother.
Yes, I...
Out of curiosity, how did you find your way in here?
Well, I am blessed with the last name Malevol, and so the Church of the One True God deemed it my responsibility to come here and find these artifacts. These artifacts very important to the Church. They're said to be here. Artifacts that belong to the 5 saints of retribution. I'm supposed to find them and bring them back. This is a fool's errand. I'm not going to find them. I'll be killed by my accursed family. I can't get anywhere. My brother has gone lost. All I can do is sit here and drink and forget.
As I'm looking at this, I'm trying to puzzle out. I'd heard that there are unholy undead here, but this man seems fully alive.
He seems corporeal. He's holding, as he's like the liquid that's pouring into the cup, actually, it doesn't pass through the goblet or anything and hit the floor. It
Okay.
seems to be actually drinking. So all signs point to him at least being corporeal. Whether he's undead beyond that, you don't know. But
well, I feel like I'm gonna call out to Dream and have him just let Geoffrey and Tomumbolo know, and perhaps we could all join together for a quaff of the beverage, and as we continue our work.
Joffrey, your brother's down here.
wait, what? He's with you? Get down here, you fool! I've been looking all over for you.
Do you have a brother here? Can he help?
This is very good.
I didn't think he was
Windor
here.
was very confused. I was like,
I mean,
what? I thought Fitzpatrick, but you're not Friar Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush down there and be like, brother, and then kind of run up to be like, because I probably think it's him for a second.
Yes.
You know, kind of wobbling, wearing the robes, with the oculary, and I'm like, oh, give him a hug, and then I'm like, wait a minute,
Who the hell are you?
yeah, who is this? You're not my brother.
You're not my brother either.
Can I have some?
You
Just
certainly...
like sneaking in underneath with the cup.
Yes, there's plenty. Go ahead and have some. It's... This one's okay. I've had better.
Pour some in the cup and sorry to interrupt the reunion, and just kind of step around the corner.
Oh, this is no reunion. I think they said that your name is, I guess, Geoffrey. It's a pretty common name.
For nobility, yes, it is.
Yeah, my brother is no noble, I'll tell you that. He's an idiot. He's always running off at the first sign of a damsel in distress. He's headstrong. He thinks himself a hero. Oh.
Yes, sounds nothing like me. Nothing at all. You're correct.
But I need to find him. He's going to get killed.
Now, what are you and him doing here? You've come To drink?
So you're looking for the artifacts of the 5 saints of retribution?
Yes,
Artifacts.
heirlooms. They once belonged to the 5 crusaders that came here and took this place from the Cold Prince's menagerie after he was banished. It is said
So
that
would this
they're...
be something that I'd heard of before?
Make an intelligence check. If you roll under your intelligence, you may have heard this before.
Good luck.
This is
boy.
kind of ancient, not super
So
common.
I rolled an 11 and failed.
Okay. And he
So no, I don't.
also says, and on top of that, I'm supposed to find... I don't even think this thing is true or truly exists, but there are those within the church that believe that the Holy Grail of Destiny is somewhere here on the grounds. Someone dug up some old records that say the Malevols had claimed that they had possession of such a thing. Supposed to be a priceless goblet that was the personal possession of the first saint of the one true God.
And where can we find it, brother? Like, Windor's eyes are just like, this is exactly the sort of thing that Windor would be into.
I can't find my brother, let alone finding these objects. I think I was the wrong man for the job.
How much of the castle have you searched?
Well, I've been through some of the southern wing. I've encountered a number of my undead ancient relatives.
And
They
where
don't
did your
harm you?
brother go missing?
About 2 days ago. I think that he is somewhere down here. At times I feel like I can hear his voice on the wind calling out, but I can't seem to find him. There's all sorts of trickery here in this accursed place. Sometimes I think it's just my relatives playing tricks on me.
So Windor turns to Geoffrey. Wasn't one of his relatives here when you came the first time?
Yeah. We encountered, I don't know if I don't know if we determined he was some sort of undead. Or
Yeah.
or not.
So the story with him was he was a man from out of time. He had come into the scene. He had been spending a lot of time in the land of fairy. And so he was like from an ancient time and had just like found a fairy road back, right? Then he was with you until the butler killed him, and then he turned into an undead on the
Gotcha.
premises. This guy right here, based on like how he talks and everything, like he feels like he's modern time.
You haven't happened to...
Would you like to help us?
We
We're
drinking?
moving these barrels out of here.
Oh, you're looting. That's what you're doing. I see.
Unfortunately, we're taking your wine.
Well, it seems you came pretty well prepared. I don't know that I can claim it as mine. You don't mind that I'm going to claim ownership of this one here.
300 gold pieces.
Look at me. Do I look like the kind of person that carries around gold? No. I give it to
We'll
the people.
collect it from the church.
Good luck with that.
What else can you tell us? You've been through so much of this castle. Have you met any living creatures?
No, you're the first other than my brother.
Did you ever see your brother here? Or did you just know he was here?
Oh, we both came on a side. He is a paladin within the church. He would kind of a joint mission.
And what did the church tell you when they sent you on this mission? Did they give you any clues? Did they tell you where to look for clues as to either the relics or to the location of the Grail?
That would have been helpful, yes. Instead of saying, well, the one true God will bless you and your name, there's no uncertainty that your relatives, they wouldn't lay a finger on you. Well, they haven't. They seem quite content not to physically harm me and my body, but my psyche, my mental state, I am losing it in this place. It's...
The alcohol's probably not helping.
Well, yes and
Brother,
no.
perhaps you should join us when we return to Fort Vulgar and report your findings to the church thus far.
I can't leave without my brother. I can't leave him down here. You know,
I was
he's
going to recommend
like I
that
told
help
you.
us.
Help you.
Help us. We get this first crate back to Fort Vulgar, and then we come back and we search for your brother.
No. I need to go now. I'm just getting a little morning cap, and then I'm going to wander this way. Yes, this way into this tunnel and look for him.
Is he pointing towards an actual exit?
This is kind of vaguely towards the tunnel that goes to the north, but it's not very precise.
Have you been up that way before, or is this your first time?
I have been up this way before, not yet this morning so far. This place is a maze. Very
What
easy
if
to get lost.
you help us, and then we'll help you? When we're done, we can help you look for your brother.
That's what I suggested. He's not interested.
You're asking me to roll barrels while my brother is in perilous danger? Are you out
It's
of your
been
mind?
days. It's been days. He's either dead or he's not.
So, brother, how have you sustained yourself these long days? Are you on a wine fast?
I've found a bit of food here and there. We brought rations with us. I could probably last another 10 days or so. I'm well stocked in that regard.
What was the last thing your brother did or said before you lost sight of him? Like when and where, what happened?
It was like he heard some voice I didn't perceive, and he was like, "I will save you. I'm coming, my dear." And then he ran up. It was
Foolish
foolish.
man. Never would I ever think known a man who would do such a thing ever.
He was like a demon possessed, and he just ran off into the darkness. The sword
I
out.
wonder if that was the princess.
There's a princess.
Oh, not
Princess.
you too. Okay.
Well,
See.
supposedly there's an elf princess here.
Oh, come on.
Wouldn't that make her related to the Cold Prince, which sounds not good?
It is. That doesn't make sense. My brother would never do that. It is against the teachings of the one true God to philander and treat with the Fae.
So, does he seem like he's in any shape to go anywhere? Like, I'm just wondering if I would go on around to restrain him if he really started to wander off. Like,
I mean,
He's like he's physically, like, mentally is probably more your assessment that he's like losing his grip on reality a little bit.
I have rope. We could tie him up.
I don't know.
Sir Geoffrey, do you think we could take a break and maybe just share some food around a fire and maybe see if we can get him to calm down a bit?
6 casks up already. Was it 7?
I think it was 7.
7.
Yep.
And and it's been what, 2 hours, something like that, 2.5 hours. I think yeah. I think we could take an hour here, break, uh, feed this man, try to get some information, and then spend the rest of the day getting the rest out. The way that Geoffrey's thinking right now is like he's seeing dollar signs, and so he wants to get these casts out. And he is interested in this man's story, and he's interested in the man's brother, but he's sort of like he wants to get this stuff out, and he wants to get it back before Volgar and stored, because it like he didn't get to do that with the crystals. This is like his redemption. He's like, I'm keeping my. I'm getting distracted. Droon. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sounds good. So you want to take like an hour rest, basically?
I think so. I think we take an hour rest. We eat. We talked with this guy. We try to get some information. We try to pump him for as much information as we can about what he's seen, where locations in the castle are. Maybe hints towards these, the chalice, the artifacts, so on and so forth. Just kind of, being nice, being cool, being cordial, but also like, trying to pump them use them for what we can in a way.
Okay, that sounds good. I noticed that Dawson isn't at the computer just now, so maybe this is a good time for us to for us to take a break. So do we want to take a 10-minute break and then come back and kind of open with that
Sure.
dialogue?
Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good. All right, we'll see everybody in a bit. We'll take a quick break. A real quick plug to come join us in our Discord server if you haven't already. This game is one in which we had a sign up for that you could come in and join. So please do so. And we'll be back in just 10 minutes or so. Hey, everybody, we're back. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are at the midpoint of our session here tonight. Our characters have arrived here at Castle Xyntillan, and they have equipped themselves with a cart, and they are trying to pull out some casks of very ancient, very valuable wine out of the cellar of this castle, load up their cart, and hopefully take it back with them to a town to get sold and make big money. We'll see if that happens.
No whammies.
Before we took our in real life break, they had met a rather intoxicated friar of the one true God, who is apparently looking for his brother, who it seems like it's totally just a coincidence that I didn't make up this guy Geoffrey. It's like it's a Geoffrey in the book, so like it's just the way it is. It was too good not to like lean into that. So he's looking for his brother. He also made mention that he has been set here on a mission by the church from Castle Brackenwold to find these 5 heirloom objects that belonged to some knights that were principal actors, it sounds like, during the war against the Cold Prince. But in that mission, he has lost his brother. He's not taking it too well. He's drinking a little bit while he is in his search. The group has tried to tried to get him to be manual labor for him in the midst of his personal crisis. That didn't really seem to work, but they have convinced him maybe to like sit down and just take a load off and eat with them for a little bit while they try to figure out if they can get some information from him and such. So we're going to enter into that process. You've alerted the people upstairs about this. Are you all coming together? You get the sense he's not going to leave the cellar. Like he's fixated on staying down on the dungeon level to find his brother. So you're not going to probably be able to coax him up and out if you try to do it that way. But where is everybody at as we start the hour?
I say we'd tell Kezi to stay with the cart.
Kezi to stay
For
with the
sure.
cart? Sounds good. then have Topsy come down?
Yeah, if he wants to, or she wants to.
I mean, I've been working pretty hard up here. I wouldn't mind an extra drink. She'll hop off the back of the cart and pretty much just salute Kezi on her way out and doodle.
Because you'll kind of tousle the top of your head a little bit, and she says, "Stay out of trouble. Don't make my job any harder than it has to be. I'm kind of liking being outdoors. It's a nice day. Just don't make it complicated, please. Please."
Don't get too comfortable. I'll be back.
So you go downstairs.
Mhm.
So you're all like
Yeah.
in the cellar with all the casks and everything, and he's sitting down. He's eating some rations. He's still got a pretty full cup, but he's drinking as he's eating.
So where's this wine that's open at?
Sure, I'll just come around here with me and take you over to the ones next to the holes that we essentially blocked off.
I think it
I
makes
will-
sense for this hour. You just need to use one torch if you're all just staying in one
Yeah.
spot.
Okay, I'll take that down to 51.
I will pour myself a healthy cup of vintage.
So, as you're all sitting together, is there anything, any conversation that you're having with him, with each other?
I guess I'm just trying to, I'm gonna sort of tell him that, we've kind of decided that we're gonna continue doing what we're doing today. But we're interested in his story, and we're not unsympathetic, and that we'll be back. And so, like, if he tells us about what he's seen and what areas and whatnot, that we'll keep an eye out. And if he gives us a clue to what his brother looks like, and what his interests are, and what he's heard, like, we'll keep an eye out. But for today, it absolutely, for the least, we're gonna continue to load our cart. But we feel for you, man.
You mentioned these relics of the 5 saints, you said?
Yes.
These mighty crusaders. Do you happen to know what those are, perchance?
He would know. DM has to look it up.
The Holy Grail of Destiny is one, yeah.
Holy
I think it's
Grail, that's
I think it's the
separate,
cherry
right?
on top.
That's the
Yeah.
cherry on top. He would tell you,
Okay.
though, that he was told that finding the 5 relics would likely be a key to locating the Grail.
Hmm.
Oh, always.
So the 5
You must choose wisely.
relics are the Sword of St. Gremulin the Decimator, the Cudgel of St. Bonifacio. Wait. Maybe that's not right. Sorry. Scratch that. I got it wrong. It's the Scepter of the Moravings, the Heart of Roland, the Reliquary of Bygone Kings, the Crown of the Lost, and the Oils of Cleansing.
Scepter, heart, reliquary, crown, oils.
And the other piece of information that he would tell you is that when him and his brother first came to the castle, there is a outdoor courtyard, a garden that they were in upstairs, where there were some statues. One of them was a gargoyle who looked as if it didn't have any eyes. And it spoke to them and said that if they could recover a gem, there was a particular gem that it was looking for, and if they could find it and bring it back to him and put it in one of his eye sockets, that he would reveal the location of the Grail.
Well, now that you bring that up, that's a very interesting characteristic, I would say. Well, the last time I was here, fellas, there was another gargoyle about a little bit that way, actually, down in the basement. Apparently, they're related to each other. The one I assume the one he's referring to is the same one that the one downstairs is related to, but the one downstairs really hates the guy upstairs, and apparently he's such a like a big meanie menace type of deal. That other guy wants him dead, completely rubble type of deal.
No, don't do that. He's my only lead.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
I'm trying to make this whole dynamic thing work based on what the one downstairs was describing. That this one would like attack you and kill you on sight type of deal.
Oh, he
But-
seemed very friendly.
Then what the hell was the guy at the bottom talking about?
Maybe he's the meanie.
Oh,
Adam have a jewel in his eye?
He didn't when I saw him. He was asking for one. He said he needed a gem of seeing.
Oh.
he is blind. He did say that, the one downstairs. What if it's still like
Sounds
that?
valuable.
Probably. Geoffrey, you're the man I need to talk to. The fire wasn't really any help in the situation last time, but you can help me here. You and your brother get into a disagreement all the time. All the time. Like almost every opportune moment, you're butting heads. How do you not do that?
How do you not butt heads?
Yeah, like how do you just like make up in the end? Because these two, well, I mean, from one half of the story, really hates the other guy, but the other guy seems like a pretty super chill dude but like he's saying that he'll murder you on sight, very vicious monster. But according to Friar over here, he's a pretty small guy who just wants to get his sight back.
You know, it's because we spend time together. We butt heads because we spend time together, but we also bring our heads together in brotherhood because we spend time together.
So
maybe we have to get the statues closer.
Heads together. Oh, sorry, you weren't saying cut off the heads of the statues and put them next to
No.
each other.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know much about statues, but that I know about my brother. That's yeah.
Oh, I also mentioned the one downstairs did threaten us a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, how little bit?
Like, don't do that type of deal. Like,
What do you tell us not to do?
like he was a guard of a door of some sorts that goes somewhere, and he's like, "Don't do that door, or else bad things happen." Also, like your sword, probably the only thing that can hurt it really good. So, you know,
The door or the
no, your
gargoyle?
sword- the gargoyle.
Hmm.
I don't know the door. He kind of said, "No, don't touch it." I was like, "Okay, fine, I won't do it."
I wonder
I
if
respect
that's
for
where
you.
the gem is. I suspect if the brother doesn't like the other brother, it might be hiding something from him, you know?
Oh, like he's hiding underneath his bed sheet. He took his brother's things, and he's hiding it from him. Is that what he's doing?
Maybe, I don't know. I used to do that for my brother, you know? I'd take his mushrooms. I mean, take them or hide them also. You know.
Hey, the
Sounds
rest of
having
you-
a brother is a lot of work.
Just
I'm imagining that
Yes.
goat folk probably do just butt heads regularly, literally, with their
Is
little
that-
horns. So I'm sure
Is
that's
that
what
how
I do
you
with
solve
my
problems?
I do want to try betting heads with you now. Now that you've said that, all I want to do is smack my head against yours.
Well,
Hey,
perhaps
That's
after
up
a
for
few more
more
cups.
wine.
It might be the
Maybe
one.
when, we're
that's-
maybe when we're done with the barrels.
Hey, Coin Spinner, thank you so much for the DM reroll. Appreciate it.
Could the? I mean, if he's hiding the. Sorry, if one gargoyle is looking for the gem and the other one wants that one dead and has a room that no one's allowed to go into. I mean, is he holding his brother's eye in there?
That's what I thought. That's what I'm thinking. When I get mad at my brother, I take things from him. I don't tell him that, though, guys. Hey, shh.
What was the last thing you took from him?
I'm things.
He ain't go into his pouch, did you?
He keeps the dried mushrooms. They're good. They have, they taste good.
Okay.
Good.
No, you go ahead because whatever I'm about to say is going to take us in a wildly different direction.
Anyone else have any comments about brotherly relationships? Dream?
All I was going to say
Windor?
is that maybe it's the sister that's in the room. Because as far as I know, two brothers, they're nothing compared to the sister.
A third conundrum has been brought into the mix. The older sister. The one who's really in charge.
Sounds like the only way is going into that door.
Oh, but I'm not going to go on the door right now.
No,
Absolutely not. We have wine to sell.
And you have this to deal with. So as you were talking,
Oh!
there is a ghostly apparition that phases through the wall, and it is a bearded man who appears to be wearing the robes of a judge. And he is hovering around. He is looking at the racks and seeing that there's those missing kegs. And immediately his eyes light up with fury, and he looks over at your group, and immediately there's an accusatory finger that points out. He says, "Thieves! Thieves! This transgression will be addressed, and you will feel the full wrath of the law." And you can roll
We're not
initiative
thieves.
as he turns hostile immediately.
Come on, we're with the Malevol. He owns this stuff. He didn't care.
I was gonna say, Brother Malevol, is this one of your?
Yeah.
You see, he's like grabbing like the oracular, like he's gonna maybe attempt to turn undead here in a second.
All right.
So any spell casting that anybody's doing?
Are ghosts considered mortal? No.
I would say no.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Then no.
I also rolled a 3.
Oh, okay. Reroll. Roll off. I got a 6.
1.
So he goes first. Oh boy.
We're too busy pointing at each other. No, he took the wine. No, he did.
Well, he seems to believe, Tomumbolo, that you had a big part of this. He's like, a moss dwarf. You are known for this. And he zooms forward and he grabs you. He's like, I can smell it on you. And he grabs hold of you.
True.
And you need to make a save versus magic.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, looks like that's a +0, so I guess that's common. A 2.
Okay. So you see as he zooms forward, and you do have a reroll. Would you like to use one?
Oh yeah, let's use a reroll. Let's use a different dice in that one.
Another session.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. So he reaches forward and he like grabs you, and you disappear for like a second, but then the reroll happens and you phase back into the room, and it would seem that maybe for a second you saw like iron bars in front of you, but then
he appreciated my honesty.
Yes.
And brought me back.
100%. That's what it was. So you're all back in. So now it's your guys' turn. So we'll go through. Dream, where do you want to move in relation to the scene?
I want to move away from Tomumbolo, and I would like to say Dwarves like beer, not wine.
Sounds good. So you're
I'll drink anything.
taking some paces back. Sir Geoffrey for movement.
He's gonna step towards the apparition and just be like, swing at it with Saint Chide's sword, just to be like, this sword clearly will damage you.
Sounds good. Topsy,
I'll get in melee.
Tomumbolo,
I'll stand my ground here.
and Windor.
I'm going to take up a defensive position in front of the friar.
All right, sounds good. Ranged attacks.
I'll shoot an arrow.
So I'm gonna say in this position, there's a few melee on top of them. There is a chance of fire. You'll be firing into melee, so there's a chance of hitting a comrade.
I'm an elf. I don't care.
Okay. Go ahead
18.
and make the roll. Okay.
18.
18. Your arrow just sails right through him. With any other ranged attacks? I don't think so. Sir Geoffrey for melee.
All right. That would be a 19.
19 is gonna hit.
Right. So, 9.
9 points of damage. All right. Topsy.
Can I attempt to distract it to help Sir Joffrey on his next turn?
Yes.
I'll say, I mean, you haven't even gone through all the paperwork, all the legal litigations that go into the process of it. I mean, we just got here. We are victims of circumstance in this situation. So, legal jargon.
Nice. Fey legal jargon.
All right. Tomumbolo.
I guess I will swing at him with my mace, which may not do anything. 15?
Misses. And Windor.
8 misses.
Misses. And then the friar here is going to attempt a turn. But it will fail. Just automatically based on how strong this thing is. All right.
How drunk he is.
It could be another factor.
Too strong.
All right, let's roll initiative.
Okay. 4.
All right, re-roll. I had a 4 also.
4.
All right, you guys win initiative. Any change in movement? All right, range attacks. Oh,
I think Tomumbolo is going to, I guess, withdraw.
okay. You could do that for this turn. Typically, you have to declare it before the initiative die is rolled, but
Okay.
you can do it. Like I didn't explain it or whatever. So
I'm okay just waiting until next turn to announce that and just standing my ground for now.
No, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you for this turn. So you just move, kind of half your movement away and are able to do that. So,
Yeah.
Then range attacks. Anything from Dream?
No, because the
Nope.
arrow's not going to work.
Yep. Melee. We'll start with Geoffrey. Got the big magical sword.
Okay. 21.
Hits.
4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. What was the assistance? I don't know if it matters, but
It's a +4 2 hits.
+4 to
That's
hit.
for the damage.
All right.
And I rolled a 19.
You-
I had a +3, so
You mega hit.
I
Uh,
omega hit.
Topsy.
I'll see if a pure iron longsword does something, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. That's a 10.
10 will miss. Tomumbolo. You've moved away now.
Yeah, I don't think range attack is going to do anything here. So he only has rocks. He's not going to bother shooting at this thing.
Sounds good. And Windor.
14.
14 misses. The ghost is going to grab Sir Geoffrey. Make a save versus spell.
16. So you have to roll what,
Over.
below or above?
Above on that one.
Above. Okay. I rolled below.
Would you like to
We
reroll?
got a reroll.
Reroll it. Let's do it.
Your only hope, please.
Come on. Nope. Mm-mm.
Sir Geoffrey and the ghost blink away and are no longer in the cellar. It will drop the combat.
Topsy, has that happened before?
No.
Now you guys have lost your Geoffrey also. Doesn't feel so good, does it?
The palace of lost Joffreys.
Well, I don't think so. Good
Is this how you
Friar.
lost your Geoffrey?
No, I lost my Geoffrey in a less cool way.
In the pursuit of love is what I heard.
Yeah, well, lust.
Well,
Probably.
it seems that our Joffrey's fates are intertwined in this circumstance.
I don't know if using that bit of flavor from before would be appropriate here or not about the briefly like seeing the iron bars.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
that legit.
I almost got taken away and assuming it's the same thing. There was a quick glimmer of iron bars, like either barring I couldn't tell what they were exactly barring from, whether it's a window or a passageway, but that's better than nothing.
A
Well, if
cage
we are
for
in a-
bad boys.
If we are in a keep, there's probably a dungeons, and I don't exactly remember, but there might have been bars by where that gargoyle statue was.
Hmm.
And he was going to throw us in jail, it sounded like.
Maybe. Well, I'll be right back, and I'll scamper my way upstairs and peek out the front door and say, "Kezzy."
Is it time? She's like packing her
Yeah.
stuff up.
Yeah.
She asks no questions and just follows you.
So there was this ghost judge who then abducted Joff. That's all we know. Somewhere with bars? But not the good kind of bars.
All I can say is that you never repeat the same story twice. Let's find him. We'll never hear the end of it from the good friar. We've lost him.
You'll probably think it's a good thing to say. You'll be like, well, finally somebody put him in his place.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that he's the only one that could hurt that thing.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it?
He's either dead or he's killed it.
Hmm.
What are we going to do if we encounter this thing again?
Well, hopefully we find something magical to help along the way. Because I have nothing. Onward?
Onward.
What about the horses?
Priorities right now. Priorities.
Okay.
So,
It
go ahead.
really seemed like he needed this. Like he needed these barrels too. It would feel very bad to let him die and then also not get the barrels. So let's save him and then get the barrels.
That's right.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Excellent. Glad we're in agreement.
At this juncture, as you're coming back down into the cellar with Kezi, we will have just concluded the 3rd hour at the castle. So it would be about noon right now, and that torch that you were using will have just expired.
I will drop the lantern and light it up.
Sounds good. So tell me, what is the group's plan?
Well, we're in the dungeons of sorts. Guess it's time to explore the dungeons to see. Be quick. Find what we're looking for. Don't look any further than we need to.
So,
Indeed.
going to head up this direction?
I would say so. Unless anyone wants to go the other way with dangerous gargoyle, that could be the opposite direction of where we need to go.
Maybe he knows where the bars would be.
Does the friar know where the bars are? I guess if you did, you'd have found your brother.
He does not know.
Huh.
Well, let's explore.
All right. I'm going to designate Toppsy as your caller, so I'm going to be looking for Dawson to tell me like direction and where you're going and those types of things. So you make it to this point right here, basically, and your lantern fills up this room. Let me just grab my book. But there's very earthy kind of smell as you're coming in here, and as you're looking about, you see that there are like roots that are hanging from the ceiling. Has like kind of the plants from up top. Maybe you're right underneath some kind of garden or exterior courtyard or something, but roots have burrowed right through the mortar and are kind of hanging right from the ceiling, just dangling. Many of them maybe like a foot and a half, extending down, and the stonework, like the floor here, is pretty damp, and there's even like little, just like a centimeter or so of like moisture kind of here and there throughout. And you also see that it looks like very intentionally there are kind of packed earth piles sporadically through the hall, like little heaps that are about, I don't know, like 2 feet tall of just dirt that looks like it's been piled up.
Does it look like rodents of a usual size of a burrow of sorts? Hey, Kezi, do you think these are burrows?
She is scrutinizing them a bit, and she says, I don't see any, like... It doesn't really feel like there's any tunnels or anything that have led up to this. This feels like... This almost looks like it was, like, shoveled up here, like, piled up by somebody.
Did you do this handiwork, brave Sir Friar?
No, but... What do you think these plants are? Should we... Maybe there's some mushrooms in here.
Perhaps on the way back. Let's go find Geoffrey first.
Yes,
Well,
Geoffrey.
I mean, we could check a little bit to see what fungus is growing here. Perhaps Geoffrey has been turned into a fungus. No, that sounds too far-fetched, even for me.
I think he's probably in jail. I think we check these out later.
I mean, it is right next to the wine room, so it won't be too hard to come back.
You always convince me, Toppsy.
The other feature in the room that you would notice is there is a statue at the back of... It is like a medium size, or it 5 feet tall, depicting a nude woman who is wearing a shawl and smiling. And then there is, of course, the tunnel seems to continue forth to the north. There also is a swollen wooden door that you see right here.
It shouldn't swell.
To the west and on the southern wall.
Just step our token a little bit closer into the room, if that's all right, just so we can see a little more.
I'm feeling like north.
I would recommend north. We've come across swollen doors before, and I tell you, I thought some people were pretty strong, but I sure learned that they were not that day. And then one of them found God.
So the group is going to continue north.
I would say so.
All right. I'm going to flip away from you guys for a second and talk to Geoffrey. So, Geoffrey, you feel the ghost seems to no longer be around you as you were suddenly deposited into this dank cell. There is no light. You're basically in pitch black darkness, but you can feel around, and you can kind of feel the cold iron bars ahead of you, and you hear movement beyond the cell. Like you hear the shuffling of feet, and you hear some kind of whimpering. It's more than one individual or entity that is around you. You are feeling like you are surrounded by personalities perhaps that are just making various noises, not really conversation necessarily, but just enough noise that you know that you're not alone.
And does it feel like they're in the same cell as me, or perhaps different cells, or?
Probably if they're encased in cells, they're not around you. You feel alone in the very tight, probably your cell is probably no bigger than maybe 8 feet in diameter.
Can I light a torch?
Yes. So you light up a torch. Let me just get to my spot here.
And then maybe as I do, I'll speak. Who's there? Hello.
You will hear a voice call out, "Put out that light before I put you out." And you hear stomp, stomp, like very heavy feet on the stonework coming towards your cell. Anything that you do in reaction?
No, Geoffrey's going to leave the light. He's thinking that if this thing is going to put him out, he's going to have to open those bars or break through the bars.
And you see that a figure comes into view. It is a man, bare-chested. He's got an executioner's hood over his head, and he's carrying like this oversized great axe. And he stops like 10 feet away from the cell and is just like staring at you. But then turns around and kind of slowly stomps away. It's almost as if he gazed in and he just did an assessment of what you possess and everything, and was like, damn
it.
We're gonna leave him alone.
Damn it.
Hey, Shady Bonsai, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Thanks for
So
stopping in.
intimidating.
Too intimidating, apparently.
An executioner, if you will.
Do I see, now that I've got some light, what do I see?
You see across from you there is a very dirty looking man with like long greasy hair, like kind of patchy beard, and he's got a spoon that it looks like he's like kind of like sharpened the spoon into some kind of like a pick, like a improvised pick, and he's trying to jam it into the keyhole and do some magic, but you get the sense, you can see his fingertips are just bloodied, that he's just been obsessively doing this for a long time. So you see him. You look down at maybe there's two other cells that you can see. One of them has a man that's wearing pretty much nothing but a loincloth, and he is just skin and bones. It almost looks impossible that he would be alive. He's just so malnourished. And there's maybe a third guy that you see who bald on the top, long stringy hair. He's wearing like dirty looks like maybe like what would have been like fine clothes once upon a time, but they've just been shredded threadbare, and he's just gnawing on this rat. He's a human man. He's just like gnawing, and it's just the juices are just running down his beard and down his like formerly nice clothes, and he just it fills you with nothing but nausea looking upon these like gross characters that you're imprisoned with.
Talk to me about the door to my cell. Is it in the gate? Is it a door? Do I see a lock? Does it look like something I could try to break down? Do the bars look like something I could try to slice through with Sir Chide's sword?
The bars are pretty sturdy and intact. The door, the gate, like it's like a jail cell door. So like the lock, you imagine the lock could be tackled probably by even a poor rogue, poorly skilled rogue, but you don't have that skill set. Unfortunately, like, it would be very noisy to be swinging your sword at these bars and take an incredible amount of time to bust them down. But, maybe if you had an hour.
I mean, I've got nothing but time, and I'm not scared of the executioner. As a matter of fact, the executioner at this point has showed himself to me to be inferior to myself. So I feel like I would probably want to is the lock inside of the gate, or is it like outside the bars, like a padlock type situation? Or
it's like a iron panel that has a lock in it. So it's accessible, but you can't see the locking mechanism would be on the outside.
Right.
But you could reach it. You could reach through the bars and reach at it.
Yeah. I couldn't get my sword to it though through the bars.
No.
Like in the angle or something. Yeah. What am I gonna do? You know what? I am going to just try to take Sir Chide's sword to like whatever the weakest area I could identify is, because I figure, like I said, if the guy comes back and tries to come at me, that's a way out. And if nothing else, I'm gonna make a big racket so that my friends can hear me.
Okay. So is it like one swing, or are you just gonna start like erratic, like just very?
I'm gonna go berserker, like, and yeah, I'm just gonna make I don't think I'm gonna waste energy on screaming and yelling. I'm gonna save it all like I'm working out, like just trying to break some kind of area of this bar or this door or this lock or something. and just be a general either nuisance to get this executioner's attention or to get my friend's attention.
So going back to the rest of the group, as you're exiting the root cellar, you start to hear a lot of racket and noise coming from this hallway here.
All right.
Hey guys, that sounds like a lot of racket and noise coming from that direction. Should we investigate?
Indeed, let's do it.
Absolutely.
So as you are, let me just make sure. You're able to easily open up this door, and then what you would see is this is the cell block where, and you could see Geoffrey in one of the cells attacking it with Sir Chide's sword. You also see standing in this hall this very muscular man wielding this axe with this executioner's hood on, and he's like moving forward, it looks like, to deal with the racket, and then you open the door. And we're going to roll initiative right here.
I will use a glamour.
Okay.
Who's mere color? I'll do it.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, what was it?
5.
5. Okay. So the party is up first.
I'm shooting an arrow.
Any movement? Let's start with that. So Dream, you're hanging back probably by the door.
Yep.
I'm going to close with the executioner.
Okay, you're going to get up into melee. We could probably have one other person up in melee.
Tomumbolo will go run up in melee as well.
All right. Sounds good. And then Toppsy, you're
Try not
hanging
to
back
die.
by the door.
Yeah, I assume using a glamour is similar to casting a spell type
Oh,
of thing.
sure. Yep. And then ranged attack. So Dream,
Oh, not 20.
yeah, 20. So you get to do max damage. So 6 points of damage to the...
7. I think I
7?
get 1 per. Maybe not per bow. No, 6. You're right.
6 points. Hey, we got a raid coming in from Armin. Thank you so much for the raid. Let's give you guys a shout out. How was your game tonight? We are just in the middle of playing some old school essentials. We just rolled initiative for a combat. Basically, there's a scenario that we are in is our party was trying to steal some, well, they're trying to transport some kegs from the cellar of this old castle, and it would appear that one of the undead former residents of the castle took issue with that and managed to grab hold of our dear Sir Geoffrey and teleported him into this cell block. And so then the group was navigating around trying to figure out where did Sir Geoffrey go. Fortunately, Sir Geoffrey was making a bunch of racket to kind of alert them, and they found the cell block where he is being held. And right now they've got a big executioner-like fellow that they have to deal with, who's the jailer. And so we just dealt 7 points of damage to him.
6.
Or,
Sorry, 6.
6 points of damage to him. And he is still up, but he's got an arrow sticking out of his chest right now. But he's kind of like Nemesis style, like he's just like trudging forward. He's got the the arrow sticking out of him. He doesn't seem too concerned about it. Kezi, I guess, would be here taking a shot as well. She also rolls very well, and she is going to deal 3 points of damage. Again, second shot.
Give her a wink.
She just kind of gives you kind of a, all right, seriously, sassy look a bit. I think that's all of our ranged. Let's go to Windor for a melee.
Okay. May the one true God bless my lance. Let's see. 18.
18 hits.
Sweet. That's a D6. 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. Strikes him. He's bleeding a bit. He, with like one of his hands, kind of grabs your lance and like throws it back. Throws you back just a foot or two. Tomumbolo, it is your turn.
All right. That is also very good. Dirty 20.
All
on that
right.
one.
Hits.
For 2 points of damage. So
this guy is just tanking and absorbing all of this damage. He's still on his feet. Toppsy, tell us about your glamour.
Well, based on how much punishment he's getting, I don't think this will work. Also, because I was going to ask this earlier, but I forgot the chance to.
Yes.
Wording wise, up to 1 hit dice of mortals per level. So would that mean 2 mortals of 1 hit dice, or 2 hit dice per 1 mortal? I think it's the former for wording.
Sorry, say it one more time, just a little slower.
Yeah. Up to 1 hit die of mortals per level of the character.
Okay, so you're level 2?
Yep. So would that be 2 mortals or 2 hit dice of mortals?
2 hit
I've
dice.
been reading...
So if you had 2 1-hit die creatures, I would say it could affect them, or a single 2-hit die or less.
All right. I guess the question is, does he have 2 hit dice or not?
He has more.
All right, then this will do nothing to him.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me check. I think he's a 2nd level fighter with a ridiculous amount of hit points, but
I asked because I have
language works, because I would interpret that as you roll the hit dice. Just kidding.
I asked because I have never used this thing in any capacity. First time for everything.
Sorry, I guess I was thinking. Oh, yeah, he's a 2nd level fighter, so it could affect him. Now, but the first thing that we have to deal with is we're inside the Ring of Chell.
Okay. Yep.
So
I am a fairy, indeed. Yep.
Let's see about that real quick.
I'm really excited. I finally get this ability. Never used it. Never had a chance to use it. I was going to use it last fight. Nope.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time you succeeded to use your magic through the Ring of Chell, right?
I mean, I make so many treats for everybody.
So roll a d6 and don't roll a 1 or a 2.
I rolled a 5.
So you're okay. You can use it.
All right. So what happens is, you know how Toppsy, like a nice little friendly, lovable face of like a little feline person type of deal? Well, you see like those features just get overly exaggerated. Like the mouth elongates, the teeth get rather sharper, like the eyes get more like predator-like, and all you hear is like a loud hiss from behind you. And he needs to make a morale check.
Mm-hmm. Check.
Did you just give him the kitty hiss?
I did give him the kitty hiss.
Nice. That's awesome.
As I attempt to awe him, as this ability describes.
Big tail, arched back.
So he fails. He didn't make it.
The creature is awestruck and flees the fairy's presence.
All right. So you see that he drops the axe, and he's about to turn tail. That's the end of the player's turn. Then it is the dungeon's turn. So he starts fleeing. He's running. He's zipping down this hallway, and he basically runs into the darkness. You can't see him any longer as he turns the corner there. Sir Geoffrey, the ghost, is back, and he's right behind you, and he's gonna attack.
All right. Do this. The judge.
The judge. Remember me, Geoffrey? When I killed your brother?
What?
+5. 23 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
So, you need to make a save versus paralysis.
Okay, save versus paralysis. I have to roll above my save.
Yeah, equal to or above.
17, I got it.
Okay. So then you just take 6 points of damage, no paralysis.
Okay, 6 points of damage.
That's still rough.
I had some hit points, so
So then
I am
it
good.
is player. We got to do initiative here. I rolled a 4.
Roll the 5 again.
Okay, that's probably good for Geoffrey. So the scenario: Geoffrey locked in cell, stuck in cell with the ghost. The rest of the group on the outside. Any movement?
When the guy was running away, the hangman, did we hear the jingle jangle of keys?
Roll me a d6.
A 5.
No.
I will use my movement to get up to Joffrey's cell.
Okay.
How big's the axe that he dropped?
It is a little bit larger than the average great axe. It's like more of a weapon for decapitation and executions than it would be like a battle weapon, but I would say you would look rather comical wielding it, but I think it's plausible. You could use it.
Okay. Then I think I'll move to that to pick it up with the intent of trying to just break open the lock that has Joffrey behind it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Any other movement or repositioning?
I'm just going to keep an eye on the hallway
Sounds
to
good.
see if anything comes the other way.
All right. I don't believe there would be any ranged attacks that would be happening here.
The only thing I would do is yell to Joffrey, would obscuring his vision help you?
The ghost? Maybe? If he can't see me, he can't hit me.
All right.
All right. Melee at all. Let's start with Sir Joffrey, certainly.
Going for it. Nope.
Would you like to use a reroll?
Do we have reroll?
Yes.
We have rerolls.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to use
We
a
got one
reroll.
more.
That was the last one.
17?
17 is what you needed.
Oh. Okay.
Please don't die, Joffrey.
5.
5. It is still there. All right. Any other melee?
Just against the lock, I get. Well, I don't know if I can get to it this turn, but I don't know how you would resolve me attacking the lock, trying to break that.
Yeah, I would say that you can.
No form, just all weight, trying to throw this axe basically into the lock.
Yeah. Make an attack roll. You just need to hit a
19.
10. Okay. Roll me a d6 and tell me if you hit a 1.
A 5.
Okay. So I think that's how we'll resolve it. Attack roll, just hit a 10, and then a d6. When you hit the 1, that's when the lock finally breaks.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Is there any other actions or things that people are doing?
I was going to do the use an object action, and I will pull out my thieves' tools, in short, just my claws, and stick a claw in and try and pick the lock.
Yes. Go ahead and roll your percentage for that.
25 as a Grimalkin.
You're getting to use some Grimalkin stuff net here.
No, it's so great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Not great enough. 36.
Okay, so not quite yet.
I
And-
think I can no longer pick the lock anymore with that, with the way the thing works. It's like can't do it anymore. I don't know how.
Yeah. Normally that would be the case, but I think for this particular situation, just the way that I think it's more interesting that you're all actively trying to get into the cell. So I'm going to waive that for this one.
Okay.
And say you can continue to use it. Cool. So I think that's it for your guys' turn then. And then the ghost will go.
For me.
So it's coming, and I got one GM reroll. So let's see how this goes.
Hopefully it's not Judge Death.
17 to hit.
That is my AC.
That is your AC. Okay. So make a save versus paralysis.
All right. Nope.
Failed it.
I failed it.
Okay, so you're
We don't have any rerolls left, right?
no rerolls
No.
left.
Yeah, I failed it.
6 points of damage.
Okay, now we have to start worrying, guys.
All right. Initiative.
I'm gonna cast a spell.
Sounds good. I rolled a 6. And the Potato Lion has redeemed you all a reroll.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I rolled a 1.
1.
Reroll.
I mean, yeah, I think so. Or we want to save it for busting the door. No,
I think
wherever you
bust
go. We
the
need
door.
to. Want to bust the door with it, or try and roll to have nothing happen? Probably.
Yeah, because we need to hit a 6, right? So it's still not going to be a good chance.
Yeah, the chances are low that you're gonna roll a
So-
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so keeping the reroll.
Yep.
I guess as a paralyzed creature, it just attacks you and hits you
Yeah. I think you're right.
and is going to deal 7 points of damage.
Woo!
You are one tough cookie if you're still up.
I have 1 hit point left.
No way.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Jenna has just redeemed you another reroll, so there's 2 rerolls in the pool. All right, it's the party's turn. So let's just go down the line here. First, let's do Tomumbolo, your attempt at the lock. Attack roll, try to get a 10 or above.
Nope. The 3 and the. Yeah.
Toppsy.
Lockpick. 30.
Do you want to re-roll it?
Oh, man.
It's a 25% chance, which is better than the D6. So mathematically,
Yeah, reroll it.
I'll use it. 74.
All right.
No.
Dream, Windor, anything that you're doing?
Since I haven't since the executioner and no one else has come down the hall, I'm actually going to start actively looking for keys
Okay.
to see if there's any.
Let's see. Roll me. You're level 1.
Those goat eyes, man. Can see good.
Are there keys hanging on a little hook?
This is
With a
right
little
next to the
prayer
door.
to Saint Hagel to guide my eyes. Yeah.
We're in a square hallway. You have square shaped eyes. It all works out.
Roll me a d20.
Okay. 6.
Okay. You're actively looking. You're kind of looking at all the cells, maybe even asking these crazed prisoners if they've ever seen the keys, and they're not very helpful. It doesn't turn up anything this turn. Dream.
I'm gonna make a fog cloud and obscure everybody's vision.
Okay, first do a d6 to see if you're able to, because of the Ring of Chell.
5.
Okay, you're able to. So, fog cloud. Does basically what it sounds like, but let's just see. Do you have the description? Can you read it off to me, what it says, the text?
Yeah, a cloud of rolling vapor surrounds the caster, filling a 20-foot radius area at the location where the rune is used. Vision, the fog blocks the mundane vision of all, save the caster who casts it, and can clear the fog. Rune duration has expired.
Okay.
Strong winds can cure the... Sorry.
All right. There is a dense cloud over everything in the chamber. So it's a little bit disorienting for you all, Topsy. You're going to be at a penalty to lock picking. Tomumbolo, you'll be at a penalty with trying to swing and hit, the cell. So that is where we're at.
You said obscure its vision, not your vision.
So that was the end of that turn, I believe, right? You guys lost the initiative, so we need to roll a new initiative.
Uh-huh.
4.
All right. You guys win initiative.
I would like to push Sir Joffrey over so that he's not standing in front of this thing, since I can still see him.
Wait, how? But you have not gotten into the cell yet.
Yeah, but he's at the cell door, right? So can I just not reach through the cell?
I'm sorry. What are you trying? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to push him over so that this creature can't just attack him. He'll be laying on the ground. He'll be prone.
Okay. It's. I mean, the ghost is in the cell, so it's not. You can push him over. Yeah, that's fine. He's on the ground. But it's not a deterrent, just to be clear. Let's see. Windor, you're in the fog cloud. Now your search for the keys is probably not going to turn anything up while you're still in the cloud. But you could move out of the cloud.
How far would I need to go?
He said it was a 20-foot radius, so we'd say... We'll just call it like 20 feet of movement to get out.
In either direction? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to lose
around me.
with the party. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna move. Well, I don't have a torch lit, or I guess where's the torch? Like, where's the light?
I think Topsy has a
relative to
lantern.
that?
But
Okay.
yeah, I guess you could see.
I'm just saying, if I move out of the cloud, I'm probably out of range of the lantern, so I would need to light something. in
True.
order to see. I think I'm just going to stay in defensive on the perimeter there, just in case something comes, because I'm not sure what I can add at this point.
Sounds good. Tomumbolo.
I wanted to persuade the ghost. Because remember, it was I who stole the wine. I was the one drinking it. I took the wine. You took an innocent man instead of me. All because you couldn't get to me.
So your pitch is that really you're the lawbreaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, roll a charisma. Try to roll under your charisma.
Under a 10. A 5.
You hear it say, "You're right. Your head should roll first before I deal with these followers."
Yes, spare my followers and come for me.
Topsy.
So what kind of penalty is it to pick the lock? Say just disadvantage. We roll it.
I'm gonna say it's a 10%, a 15% penalty, so you have a 10% chance.
Two.
You got it open.
I'm gonna
He needed
somehow-
a little pressure. He needed the pressure to be
I'm
on.
gonna take a picture of this. Yep, there.
So you all hear the swinging of the old iron door somewhere in the fog. Oh, I'm sorry. Sir Geoffrey, you're still alive, aren't you?
I have 1 hit point.
You were 1 hit point. Percy, the fog cloud said that anybody inside of it is effectively blinded, right?
Blocks all mundane vision, yes.
Mundane vision. Okay. So any melee in this cloud by people that can't see is going to fail.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do to get this guy.
Not under the current condition. It kind of gives you flashbacks of dealing with the unicorn and its darkness ability.
He's not paralyzed?
Oh, that's right. You're paralyzed. That's the kicker there.
I was gonna say apparently not anymore. But
Yeah, I was
All right,
wondering.
Percy.
Sorry, what?
What are you? Anything you pushed him over? I guess that's what your action was this turn. Okay, so Ghost's turn. Ghost is going to fly over to where Tomumbolo is and attack.
oh boy.
His vision is not mundane, is it?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, it is a ghost.
A 20 to hit.
Oh, yeah. 20 definitely hits.
Save versus paralysis.
All right. That's under?
Yeah, over.
Over? Okay, then I failed.
And 5 points of damage.
And then I'm down as well.
Okay. That is the end of the turn. We got to roll a new initiative. How long does the fog cloud last?
1 turn.
Oh, okay. It's here to stay.
6.
1. So, let's start with. I'll go back to kind of a traditional style here. So we'll talk through movement. So, movement that people would like to make.
I will
would-
move within the chamber.
Okay, you're going
The,
into the
cell.
cell.
So I'd like to move over to Tomumbolo because I can once a day lay on hands.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I can find him, I'd like to do that.
I'm gonna say that you can.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab Sir Geoffrey's sword.
Okay.
I'm on the ground. I don't know if I have to do anything here.
We'll have let's have Windor roll the lay on hands. See how many hit points you get back.
It's not a roll. It's just 2 hit points.
Oh, it's just 2
once a
hit
day.
points. Okay, so you got your 2 hit points back.
I call on the one true God to restore our brave companion.
So-
Did we win?
Tomumbolo, we
Not
gotta
yet.
see. I guess the first thing that we have to see is how bad were you down.
Yeah.
Give me just a second to pull some stuff up here.
While you do that, I see that chat has redeemed a boon of healing.
Oh, good. So maybe there'll be a little extra healing that you get from this. Or I would say, if you guys want to redeem that to unparalyze Sir Geoffrey, that would be an option too.
I mean, I of course like that idea.
You are the wielder of the sword.
Well, no, I have his sword.
Are you looking for the table? Because I have that here too. If you want me to roll that.
So make a save versus death.
Okay, save versus death. Okay, so
'Cause
above an 8.
We have to ensure that you are still alive to receive these 2 hit points.
That is a 10. So above an 8.
Okay, so you're above an 8. You're still alive. And when you come back, there must be like a bit of necrosis or something that this ghost hit you with, because when you are revived by the 2 hit points that Windor is giving you, one of your, probably over the course of like the next day or so, one of your fingers, maybe that was touched by the presence of the ghost, like becomes all black and it's gonna fall off. We'll say it's like your ring finger on your right hand.
Look. It looks so nice with the moss on it for now. Until it falls off.
Let's see. So that was like an action from Windor. Tomumbolo, this is like your kind of your recovery round. Toppsy moved into the cell. You want to use one of these boon of healings to bring Sir Geoffrey unparalyzed?
I would say so. I also see that we got another one from the Potato Lion.
And I will roll some hit points if you want to give that to somebody. Maybe a Sir Geoffrey.
I think that's pretty safe.
Yep.
All right, Geoffrey, roll a d6, and you can have that many hit points back.
A 6.
6. All right. So Geoffrey, this is going to be your recovery round as well. All of the you can't really do anything on this round.
Apparently, I don't have a weapon either, so.
So Dream, you have moved in and you have grabbed the sword.
Don't imagine I can swing it this round.
You are a Dolmenwood elf, correct?
Okay, Sheriff.
Not an OSE elf.
I'm not sure what the difference is.
Where did you build your character from? The Dolmenwood stuff?
No.
Or the OSE book?
Yeah, you told me to use the OSC stuff.
Okay. If you're an OSE elf and you're not from Fairy, you would have infravision, I believe.
The fog does not block my vision.
It doesn't
It
block
says,
your vision?
It blocks mundane vision of all save the caster who conjured it.
Oh, okay. So if you're able to see, then you can swing your sword.
Are you able to
Oh.
dispel the fog if it's
That
not
is a no.
blinding
No.
him? No.
No. 6. So
Do you have a reroll for that one?
There is a reroll.
Oh, I will reroll. 12.
Misses.
Okay.
All right, you guys won that initiative. Topsy, you had just moved into the cell. Anything that you were?
Well, initially I was going to go move in,
Yeah.
and then with my using option to pick up the sword, but that was already done. So I'll just defend Geoffrey for now.
All right, sounds good. The ghost is up, and the ghost sees Windor undoing his handiwork, so he's gonna attack Windor.
Jesus.
I'm so sorry, Windor.
And he rolls a
It is what it is.
19.
No. Oh, wow.
He's not going to be happy till one of us dies.
7 points of damage. And save versus paralysis.
Okay, so actually that takes me down to 1 hit point. So, and save against paralysis. Better than a 12. 15, so I'm not paralyzed.
All right. Roll initiative.
6.
All right. The party is up first. Dream, any movement?
No, I'm just going to hit him.
Sir Geoffrey, any movement?
I mean, I can't do anything. I don't have my weapon, so I'm just going to try to find my way out of this cell, or, I'm feeling pretty helpless right now. And I was just almost dead, so yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to just try to feel around and get my bearings and maybe try to get into the hallway or something.
Topsy.
Moving with Geoffrey.
Okay. Tomumbolo.
I think the best I can do is try and give help for the next turn to Remembrance. Or Dreamy.
You want to use so I haven't shared this probably with all of you, but there is like a distract combat option that Topsy has used at times that can give a +4 bonus to your ally's attack roll. And I would say with your you've hit him where it hurts in terms of appealing to his law abiding law enforcement ways, and so that works. How about Windor?
Well, I can't see anything, right?
Correct.
If we're appealing to his law abidingness, I would say how can you punish people without a trial? Seems unjust.
That's how we've always done it.
It didn't count on bad laws.
All right. Now we got more tolling of the bell here. Another reroll from Jenna. Jenna must have a million points that she's spending on your game here tonight.
She's saving our butt, though.
Okay, so those
I
were
guess
like...
if I can, I'll just move out of the fog.
Move out of the fog. Okay. All right. You can do that. So you would be like over on this side somewhere.
Okay.
In the dark. You've got did you light something?
I can light something. I can use that as my action, I guess.
Okay. Probably no ranged. Let's just go to Dream is going to be swinging with a sword. You have a +4 on this from the assist.
Oh, 18.
An 18 will hit.
It's a D6 for your weapon?
The D8.
D8. That's 6 points of damage.
And so with the swinging of Sir Chide's sword, it will swing through the apparition and it will obliterate, and the little molecules of light will just get absorbed into the fog cloud as he's vanquished.
Ooh.
Dead.
The one God be praised. We.
And
I guess we could have asked the friar for a turning. We forgot about the friar. Friar.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
Could've done that.
unfortunately, he already used his turn on this guy, so he
That's true.
couldn't.
Didn't work.
As you
might ask for some healing at this point for somebody.
Yeah, he... Would he have that? I think the friar at level 1 has something like that. Let me just pull my thing up here quick.
And at this point, I've got some hit points, and it's more hit points than most of the people here, so I'm not too,
Yeah.
You can always use more.
this is
I'm
true.
sorry, Geoffrey. I got distracted by fungus.
There is also another boon of healing if you want to use that.
Oh, is there? Yeah, maybe I will use that then.
Because there was 2, so.
I think we used it to unparalyze you and then get that.
Yeah, and paralyze, and then,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Can we please get out of this fog, please?
He told me to do it.
What?
Who told you to do what?
You didn't say you were gonna make fog appear.
You said would obscuring his vision help. If you would have asked if obscuring our vision would help, I would have told you, hell no.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
I
also
recommend
did
that
not
we make our way out of this.
obscuring his vision. How much do we pay you per day?
We won.
Windor, you get
Grab my sword back.
Windor, you get 7 hit points back from the friar.
Oh, wow, back to normal. Great, thank you.
And you hear in the darkness of the cell block, "Brother, is that you?" And he says, "Oh, you idiot!" And I don't know, he grabs like a torch or something, like an unlit torch from one of you, and he just goes over and like smacks the person in the head. "You idiot!" And he just is like rapping at it, and he's like, "Calm down, please. Just get me out of here." There's some brotherly squabbling happening over there.
Still, has the fog cloud dissipated, or?
Well, yeah, we'll see, in the midst of
Yeah,
all this, like,
we-
the turn will pass and it'll dissipate.
So
Do we around? Do we see any keys to free these? Free the people who are imprisoned here?
You don't, but
Hmm.
all of the these 3 other prisoners that you see here are all like looking out at you, like, "Let us out, please."
What they got you in here for?
The guy that was fashioning, he had that fashioned spoon. He's just like, "This is my 4th time in here.
Return visitor.
Yeah, you can either let me out now or, this'll work. I've gotten this to work before."
Let's see if my tools can do it. Just hold on. And she'll like go down and start trying to work the lock. So, what exactly did you do? Like 4 times in here, you say? Was it that judge guy?
Yeah, he doesn't like it when you take his stuff.
Oh, like what stuff? What stuff did you take from him?
I got a pocket. Yeah, it was like a pocket watch. It kept time.
Oh.
It was all ticky tacky.
Oh, those are valuable from what I heard the mortals use.
Yeah. I he didn't let me keep it though. When I got in here another time and I found a little music box. Yeah, I think I could
also
have
nice.
gotten like 500 gold for that. He caught me.
Okay.
And yeah, the 3rd time got this really nice like silver neck piece. It was like perfect. It was gorgeous. It probably belonged around the neck of a queen. Yeah, he caught me.
Understandable.
I'll get it one of these times.
Did you see where he put him?
No, he's teleported me here.
Hey, what was your grand heist? This 4th time you've been caught.
Oh, yeah. I got a
No
hold
Holy
of this.
Grails?
I got a hold of this book. That time it wasn't the ghost guy. It was like this like skeletal looking guy. He had a real raspy voice, and he talked about I was carrying all the secrets of the multiverse and I don't know, secrets of the passwords to get into hell and stuff. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I probably could have gotten a lot of money for that. Nope.
How come that sounds the least believable? I'm going to attempt to pick his lock.
Okay.
I'm off by 4. 29.
Oh,
I'm feeling like I'm going to use Gabe's like rounding down method that he had this morning, and we'll say that's close enough. So
nice.
yeah, he had a couple of people that was like they were like 2 points off or whatever. Close enough. So you unlock this. He's like, hey, thanks, brother. And he smells like terrible, and like his teeth are all rotten and black. And
You should leave here. You
Ooh,
should
before
just
you-
go.
We should.
Help us get these other guys out.
Before you leave,
Yeah.
what's your favorite snack?
my favorite snack,
Yes.
pavlova.
What the hell is that?
It's kind of like a meringue dessert.
Doesn't apple tart work for you?
Oh, sure.
It seems a little high end.
Well, it's favorites. I mean,
Because I don't think
I
Topsy's
aspire to
ever
be
had-
high class, but it just
Me
hasn't worked
too.
out.
I don't think Topsy's ever had a pavlova before, so I assume that's not in her list of treats she can conjure.
Probably not.
So she'll make an apple tart instead and present it to him.
Oh, he's gonna devour that right up. The other 2 prisoners are just like, "Hey, what about us?" The really gaunt-looking guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to that guy, hey, we helped you get out. Help use that little shiv. Help us get these other guys out of here too.
Okay, I could probably do that. He's gonna go over to the cell where the gaunt guy is and start working at that. Then you see like the guy that was like eating the. Are you guys hearing that same sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's coming from Kev's mic?
Yeah, it's going
Kev,
great.
which was Kevin.
Interesting. I don't know. It was like a really staticky kind of
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Maybe it was like the headset was dying.
Yeah, I think it was some problem. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. The guy that was eating the rat like puts it down and is just like looking out. He's like, "Let me out too."
Tomumbolo is just haphazardly swinging the axe. It's still too large for him to actually use in combat axe.
Sounds good. I'm not gonna have
that's
you
it,
roll because like eventually like you'll hit it and
Get it.
break this guy out. I guess I should roll just to see if anyone notices the sound as well. No, you're able to break it open, and this guy is just covered in this like rat juice and fur. Is like he grabs your hand and starts shaking. That's like at the point your finger falls off when he starts very very enthusiastically shaking your hand. Thank you so much for getting me out of there.
You're welcome. You can take the finger too. I don't think I need it.
Don't no.
Starts using it to pick
There's
his
so
teeth.
much fungus on
Oh, my
that.
goodness.
There's like mushrooms and moss all over that finger. Actually, probably better for his diet than the rats.
Might be antibacterial.
Actually, never knock a freshly killed rat. Pretty great for a growing diet, if you ask me.
So you've got 3 fairly disgusting tag-alongs here. You've got the friar and his brother have been reunited. What are we thinking at this point?
get the heck out, I think.
I
They
think
can also
I think this has been a nice, hard day's labor. These individuals definitely need to ride back to camp. Geoffrey, I don't know, the Geoffrey the Knight, Paladin. You, we
Could use some rest.
could use some, R&R.
I
think
agree.
we did good. 7 casks? I mean, that's
Not
pretty
bad.
great. We can see what's coming up.
Do we want to roll some out on the way out?
No.
We could do 1 or 2.
I think no.
Oh.
Let's just get you all home.
Sounds
Fair
good.
enough. Topsy, it's rare that you are the voice of reason, so I'm going to go with that.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to follow your energy.
When you're dealing with a bunch of kids such as yourself, it kind of gets a little important.
Well, very good. So you've managed to get 7 casks. You've decided not to push your luck any further here tonight, and you. Actually, there is something that you would have gained off of the remnants of the judge. After he dies, there's an object that he leaves behind, I believe. So let me just reference that real quick so we can see what that is.
Is it this book to the knowledges of the multiverse and the secret
No,
password to hell?
that's for another day. The Pegasus brooch.
This brooch.
that the necklace that's fit for a queen.
Put it on here. This treasure. Pegasus brooch. All right. 'Tis accounted for.
Descriptions of things are all over. It's not a super. It's actually more organized than some old school stuff is, but it's like, oh, you want to see the description of this? I'm not going to write it here. You have to turn to this room and find the description there. I9. Okay. Very interesting. I'll say maybe in closing, who has it?
I guess I put it on my character sheet just to keep track of it. But
Over the
yeah,
course,
I guess I grabbed it.
we'll say that over the course of the next 2 days or so, because usually I skip forward a number of days. So while you're spending some downtime back at the Fort Vulgar, you start getting like packages. Roll me a D100 real quick.
A D100. Right. 59.
So on the first day, when you're staying at Chook's Knob, you come down for breakfast, and the proprietor like says, "Oh, somebody dropped this off for you," and like gives you this little box, and you open it up, and there's like a plague doctor mask inside.
Okay, I don't know if that's a good omen or a bad omen, but
Roll another D100.
oh boy. A 100. Or what's it? 0, 3 zeros. Is that 100? Or is
Okay.
that 0?
That is 100.
It's a 100. So same thing happens the next day. You get another package. They say, "Oh, another package arrived for you, Sir Geoffrey." And inside this one, there's a little wooden puppet that is wielding a bloody dagger.
Oh my god.
So remind me at any time you're playing in a session that you have this, because we'll figure out what weird boxes are arriving for you.
Oh god. Okay. All right. Cool. So wait, what is this? I have a doll. This is a doll.
It's like a hand puppet.
Okay. All right, hand puppet with a dagger.
And he has an amulet? Is that what it is?
It's like I guess like a pin. It's like
It's a
shaped
Pin like you
like
used
a
to hold
Pegasus.
brooch. Pegasus brooch, and I'm gonna put in the description weird package ability.
Package
maybe-
every day.
Yeah, maybe tell Alex that, like in the description, tell Alex that you have it.
Approach of delivery.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll probably forget to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make a note on my notes for the, just for the campaign that I have in my pad.
And then just for inventory purposes, some rations would have been used on the trip, so each of you can deduct 2 rations for your time on the road and everything like that. So cool. Well, everyone's alive, so that's the happiest outcome. But you are also alive with 7 casks, so that's great.
Bad. Could have been better. Could have been worse.
Well,
I think several of
really
us
bad.
almost died. So it could have been much worse.
so whenever we do the Dolmenwood games, it's been a tradition in our games to kind of end on what we call giving appreciation or giving gratitude, and so we just spend a moment to like tell another player something that they did that made the session memorable or fun or enjoyable for you.
I mean, where to start? Thanks for saving me. The fog cloud was so much fun. Almost killed us all, but was so much fun.
I'll have mine go out to Kev. That's the right Kev. For embracing the religious part of it, because I always enjoy like the religion aspect for Dolmenwood, and like somehow getting it to have it work perfectly. There's just a random friar wandering the halls who also serves the faith. It's like, this is
Yeah.
great. I love seeing the stuff.
I'm throwing my appreciation out to Percy for the fog cloud. While it nearly killed us, it was awesome. It was memorable. I'm gonna remember that. It kind of saved the day, sort of, but it was cool. It was fun. It was kind of cool. It definitely added something.
Yeah, and to Dawson for just getting to use all his Grimalkin abilities in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
one-
to shout
two
out to Kevin
turns.
for the distraction to get the judge away from
Yeah.
Joffrey. That was awesome.
I would
Yeah,
like
the
to
fact they're not dead.
reiterate that the distraction was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to die, but I figured I was the only one that could use the sword, so I should probably get in there, and with him being distracted with you and then the healer guy that's keeping you alive, I figured I had a couple of rounds before I was going to die.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that this thing would be able to see.
Yeah,
And
there's no way you could have.
more appreciation to Sir Geoffrey for agreeing to me like destroying the combat.
I want to thank well, Kev, you played in a game before. What game did you play?
Was the Planescape one with the rat thing?
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yep. So you're not like new, but you were new to playing in this scenario with us. So thanks for coming back again, and Kevin, thank you for signing up. It's always awesome to have like new people come in and jump in and play a game. So just appreciation for that.
And appreciation to you for running it. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to jump in.
We're
I
going.
hope we get to do something with Saint Fraggle at some point too. 'Cause I
Yeah,
like that.
that's
I'm kind of digging on that whole vibe.
that's solid flavor. I love that concept is pretty great. It is like exactly in line with how, you know, the Bregel sometimes do worship the one true God, but like that's like the perfect way to like blend Bregel traditions with the faith.
Yeah, I
so.
figured he's in trouble for syncretism, right? Like
Yep.
he's blending religions, and then the rest of the church doesn't really like that, so he's kind of been pushed to the periphery.
Yeah, I'm hoping we could see these characters again. We've got formally 2 more Castle Xyntillan games that I will do. One will be the first Saturday in June, and the other will be in the first Saturday in July. So be on the lookout for those signups. People out there that are watching, jump in to our Discord. That's where you can see our opportunities when they pop up in our LFG channel and such. So come join us there. Sometimes we're hanging out in our voice channels. So if you see us in general too or wherever, feel free to pop in and say hi to us and chat with us. So I think that's going to do it here tonight. I don't think we have any other big things happening necessarily. Well, I guess the biggest thing that we could say is that on Thursday, Casey's going to be running a new campaign that is he's going to be tackling the new Vecna Eve of Ruin campaign. So they're going to be doing there's like a level 3, I want to say, prequel adventure that they're going to start.
Cool.
And then they're going to be moving into the high level campaign subsequently. So come check that out. That's going to be Thursday. I want to say it's like
7:30 or 8:30 to 11:30.
Yeah. Are you in that game?
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll see you in that
Very
one.
excited.
I think we will now. Let's see, who do we have to raid tonight? I don't know. I'm gonna raid Mr. Mikey Unlikely. He does this like he just plays punk rock music. So that's where we're gonna go tonight. It's pretty fun. So all right, we're gonna go do that. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you all soon.
Good night.
Right.